Okay, that's done. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Black Business Expo. As we get ready to start the show one more time, it's going to be a great day here in the beautiful city as we're going to go to commercial break. And when we come out of the commercial break, we're going to bring it to you live once again, the Black Business Olympics.
Dr. Eric Kelly III and a host of phenomenal speakers from all around the globe for this 7-day virtual event that you don't want to miss.
The mission of the Black Business Expo is to raise scholarship money from kids all the way from high school all the way from college. The Black Business Olympics is one of the largest Black business showcases in the world. It is an opportunity for businesses and companies to showcase their businesses globally. We are going to be giving away laptops up to $5,000 away to students. Again, I'm Olivia Appleberry, the founder of 2 Cents Finance and one of the speakers for the expo. I am so excited to see you there. For more info, go to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090 and hope to see you there.
I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep. Yes, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Tell me, are you Black Business? I am Black Business. Do you support Black businesses? Listen, I support Black business because I am Black Business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. The world! Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black Business.
I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Are you Black Business? I am Black Business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black Business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black America in North Carolina. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-380-9090. I am Black Business. I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Are you Black Business? I am Black Business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black Business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black America in North Carolina. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-380-9090. I am Black Business. I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Are you Black Business? I am Black Business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black Business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black America in North Carolina. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-380-9090. I am Black Business.
Join Dr. Eric Kelly III and a host of phenomenal speakers from all around the globe for this 7-day virtual event that you don't want to miss.
The mission of the Black Business Expo is to raise scholarship money.
Great day, business owners, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders and corporations. Welcome to the Black Business Network. I am Eliza Carter. I am an emotional freedom advisor and self-leadership coach, working with highly successful women and the CEO of the Breathing Experience Academy. Visit us today at thebreathingexperience.com. I am your anchor for this evening on the Black Business Network. The Black Business Network is a 24-hour business network showcasing Black businesses, business owners, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders worldwide. Yes, such an exciting time. We have speakers from North Carolina, London, Singapore, Japan, and cities all over the United States. The Black Business Network is a global community, sharing its business knowledge to empower, inspire, and educate businesses about business. Today's speaker is Marsha Reeve-Jules. Welcome. How are you today?
Hello, how are you? Thank you for that great introduction.
You're very welcome. Well, genius is coming, and I'll see you both on the other side.
All right. Thank you so much, Eliza. Hello, Charles. How are you today?
Well, Marsha, thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for joining us. Let me introduce you properly. Charles Cathcart, Admiral Cup. He was born in North Carolina and raised in Iran, Maryland, and Ohio. Captain Cathcart has traveled visiting 25 countries from his maritime career. Exposure to life on the water has spanned several decades, as his 26-year career on the waters of the world will attest. Highlights include crewing on the majestic retired America's Cup J-class yacht, Shamrock 5, built by Sir Thomas Lipton to challenge for the America's Cup in 1930, which was defeated by Harold Vanderbilt's magnificent Ranger Shamrock 5. Mr. Cartwright, CEO of African Diaspora, Maritime African Diaspora, announces historic African American sailing team based in Baltimore plans to compete in future America's Cup. Charles was a member of America Cubed, the 1992 America's Cup winning team. served as project manager for the St. Petersburg Yacht Club of Russia for the America's Cup World Championship with the title of Vice Commodore bestowed on him in perpetuity. With Australian team Sydney 95 for the 32nd America's Cup, Cathcart was on the data boat as velocity prediction programs, linear perturbation, and vector analysis data were gathered and studied. Joining White Holly expeditions, he has also sailed the oceans of the world as a watch officer on numerous oceanographic research expeditions. The highlight being the Scripps Oceanographic Line Island expedition, filmed by National Geographic. Cathcart formed Africa Diaspora Maritime to make history and teach history, creating an extraordinary project that speaks of adventure, knowledge, and life-altering experiences, all based right here in Baltimore City. Hello, sir. How are you?
Marcia, thank you for the introduction, and hello to everyone that's listening around the world. It's a thrill.
It is a thrill. I get a little tongue-tied because you got all these nautical words I got to figure out. As a maritime man, you know those. Let's talk about how you got involved in maritime. You were a little boy growing up. What happened that you got so fascinated with the water and these big ships?
And this is one of the key points of our lives is you get exposure. The exposure excites your mind, and then you prepare for what you like, learn about what you like. And then as you reach out to try to participate, you have all the tools. So part of our mission with African Diaspora Maritime is not only to race, but to teach the history of the Black mariner and the math and science behind sailing and building and designing boats.
Sailing. So people have been sailing for a while, but you're now talking about traveling across oceans, not just the riverbed, right?
Sure. So the America's Cup is the premier yacht racing event in the world. Generally speaking, those boats race on a race course on water adjacent to a major city. The boats come back every night after a couple of hours of racing. So that's the normal thing. With the ocean research that I did aboard the White Holly, those are expeditions all over the world where you're literally out in the middle of the ocean and you're gone for a month or two at a time. So we're going to expose people to both ideas and aspects of just day racing, and then weekly cruising where you can go on long trips, and then ocean research as well. But the highlight of African Diaspora Maritime is the competitive team that will race in the America's Cup.
How many team members are on these ships?
Well, they keep switching. So whenever they pick a new boat, so currently they have what's called an AC-75, and that boat is 75 feet long as it sounds. And it is a foiling monohull, which means it floats out of the water. There's a crew of 8. So we're going to have 8 crew members. We're going to have alternates, and they're going to have the Women's America's Cup. So we're going to feature, there are going to be 4 women that will sail on an AC-40, which is 40 feet long, foils out of the water, and a Youth America's Cup. So we're going to have 3 teams, and we're going to have alternates for each of the 3 teams. So this is going to be an exciting project.
That's exciting. So in the hull of the ship, right, is that where the rooms are and dinner and all of that are below the top?
For the race boats, if you're going to come back to shore after the race, and the races are short races, less than an hour, then you keep the inside of the boat empty because you're going to sleep on land. You're going to stay in a hotel or apartment. But when you're doing ocean research, or if you're doing a big crossing on a vessel and you're going to go from, let's say, San Francisco to Japan, then you're going to stay inside the boat, and you're going to have cabins, and you're going to have a galley and the normal things that you would have in a house. And as a matter of fact, they call that the hotel of the vessel, of the room that you stay in, the food that you eat, and the things that you do. But all the systems would act just like a hotel. You got to take a shower, there's restrooms, and everything else that you can think of.
All of the luxuries, right?
All the luxuries
that you have on land, right? But how did you get involved in this? You were a little boy growing up. Water, those you're talking about oceans, seas, there all you see is water. You can't see land anywhere sometimes. How did you get involved in that, and what was the attraction?
Well, I had looked through several encyclopedias, and the ocean always struck me as magnificent because the earth is 3/4 water. So it's mainly water. And I would read about the ancient mariners and the historical trips that they took. And I loved it. And I understood that navigation was by the stars. And so you're getting into astronomy and a number of different disciplines of building the boat also. So it was an interesting thing to me. And then little by little, I started to realize there's a history of Black mariners, and I started to collect books on that. And so as a young adult, I got the opportunities, but my opportunity was met with preparation, and I was able to be hired. So right now, what we're going to do is we're going to make this a mainstream situation. Unlike the Jamaican bobsled team, there's a history of Black mariners. So it's the same excitement of the Jamaican bobsled team with a little bit more history and excitement. And we're going to deal with the science of designing and building boats.
So are you actually going to build the boat that you're going to race in?
All teams are required to build their own boat. So what happens with that is the smaller boats, the AC40s, you buy them from the America's Cup Authority, and then you have your designers design the boat, and then you hire a builder to build it. And our goal is to build the boat in Baltimore and use field trips to let people come and see what that looks like, the actual building of an America's Cup boat. If we can't do it because it's too tight of a time frame, we're going to build a high-tech boat, which is a similar size, and a low-tech boat, which is an old wooden classic boat, and we'll still have field trips. And so the same thing is going to happen in Baltimore. And we're looking to inspire our youth to delve into career opportunities, historical knowledge of who we are as a people, and to become more well-rounded and realize that the maritime industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry.
Mm-hmm. So where is this boat? What it has a name for it, where the shipyard. Where do you go and build the boat here in Baltimore?
Typically, a shipyard is not where you want to build a boat because the land on the waterfront is expensive. So at the shipyard is where you dock your boat, but you can build the boat inland 5 or 6 miles or 10 miles or 20 miles, and you can seal off a warehouse, clean it out, dry it out, and have a clean room. And then that way, when you're building, you're not worried about water seeping in and all the moisture that can slip into your build, and you'll have delamination issues or moisture issues. It's way better to build inland, just in any warehouse USA.
So how would you transport a ship that's inland to a racing ship to the water to get out to the ocean?
So this is one of the most famous things that happens for all America's Cup boats. There's always a video of the boat having been built in the warehouse, pulled out and trucked to the waterfront for the ceremony of christening the boat and then putting all the deck outfits on and putting the mast on. So this, we can look this up, and typically they do it in the middle of the night, and it's a wide load, and you'll have all the sirens going and the lights flashing on the highway, and the boat is in a motorcade, just like it's a big, maybe a presidential motorcade, but it's a boat instead of a president. So everybody wakes up for that, they film it, and then they always put it online. So we're going to do the same thing.
How many people will be working on your boat?
So just like if we all know race car drivers, the race car driver has a pit crew, and that pit crew works on the boat. So the same thing, we have a shore crew, and the shore crew, when you come in from racing, go over the boat, see that if anything's wrong or needs to be repaired or adjusted, you'll have a shore crew. You can have a shore crew of 15 people. You can have 8 racers, and then with the 8 racers, you're going to have some alternative people that in case somebody gets hurt or there's an emergency or whatever, you can still race. And so that number starts to get around 20, and then you add the 4 racers for the women plus alternates and the 4 youth. So you're going to get up to about a 30-person organization. And then with other ancillary people, you get up to about a 50-person organization for African Diaspora Maritime.
That's only on one boat or
Well,
several?
the team
Or-
can produce the other boat, and the teams will race within the organization.
Okay. And so how do you train them?
But just like a football practice or baseball practice or race car practice, you get out on the water and you discuss the tactics of how to get around the race course as fast as you can, and to also mitigate the tactics that your opponent, because you're going to race against, it's one-on-one racing, and you study what the opponent is most likely to do within the rules of racing. So the rules of racing are pretty straightforward, and the tactics of going up and down the race course are straightforward. And then you try to put in surprises and use different tactics to get around the race. Now, sailboats, they can't sail directly into the wind, so they have to go at 45-degree angles and work their way up into the wind. And then as they turn around and head back down to the bottom of the mark, they get pushed from behind. So it's a fun thing, and we're going to familiarize people who haven't really paid attention to yacht racing with this new thing with the team. It'll be similar to the Jamaican bobsled team, where people say, I didn't really watch bobsledding, I didn't pay attention to it, but now the Jamaican bobsled's in it, I like it. And so you're going to have that same effect or feeling.
So did you by any chance bring a copy of or a sample of the uniforms that they're going to be wearing? Because they're really very beautiful.
Thank you. So we have some of the hats that I can show you right here. And this,
the logo, is that Africa?
That's Africa. The red, yellow, and green are the Pan-African colors, and the blue is maritime. So it's African Diaspora Maritime. So when people go onto our website at admsailing.com, they'll see the hats, they'll see bumper stickers, and there's the black one. And people love this logo, and they get excited about it when they see it. So I'm proud of it and proud of the work that the designers have built. So we also, the crew is going to wear helmets. And so here's one of the helmets that they'll wear. And
nice.
It looks good. And so they've got a number on one side. Each crew member will have a number. There's our logo. And I invite people to go to our website and see what things look like. And then here's the black and white helmet. And we've got a black and white uniform, and we have a carbon or gray and black uniform. People love this uniform, and I think it looks beautiful. So we're excited about this because it's a revenue generator as well. Some people don't know, but they say the America's Cup is expensive, but FUBU was making $350 million a year selling hats, jackets, and T-shirts, and they didn't have a team or a mission. Here you have a team, a mission, and a history that we're going to learn and teach. And I believe people like that. Here's one of the books, Blackjacks. If you go on our website, admsailing.com, you'll see many books on the history of the Black Mariner. It's great reading. And of course, we want our children to read. We want the reading scores to go up. We want the science and STEM scores to go up. So when we design and build the boat, we'll also integrate that. And we're going to see a renaissance of people learning more STEM, learning the history of the Black Mariner, and being excited by the team.
And so when we look at all of the things that are going on and getting the young people excited, how do you get them involved since they're not going to be on the boat, but how do you bring that to a classroom?
So our website at admsailing.com is going to have every event cataloged on our website, so you can download it. So if you're in Nebraska and you say, hey, I've heard about African Diaspora Maritime, I'm proud. What can I see? How can I learn it? And we obviously know it's much easier to put our teach-ins and webinars online so anybody can download it from around the world, as opposed to saying if you missed it at Baltimore when we talked live, it's not going to be there. So everything that we do is going to be posted online. And then the practice sessions, we'll post them online. And you'll also see that we'll put some spectator boats out there and get some young people on the water in the Chesapeake Bay or wherever we happen to be. And they're going to love it themselves. And so there's going to be a moment where people just get excited.
So this is all, I mean, you're doing the development work now and you're marketing. When do you think that you're going to start building the ships?
So the first boat that we have to have is called an AC-40 And by its name, it's America's Cup 40 feet long. And we're going to purchase that from the America's Cup Authority. That boat is going to be made for us. It takes about 5 weeks to make it. So once you raise your money through the awareness, which is what we're doing now, then people go online. They're purchasing our hats, jackets, and T-shirts. We just had a fashion show, and that's being released on Monday worldwide, so people can see our uniforms. And they're going to like what they see. They're going to like the mission. And then when they go to the website, they're going to say, wow, I didn't know there was a history of the Black Mariner. And that synergy is going to create purchases, and then that will stack up the bank account. And then when we reach the magic number, we'll apply to the America's Cup. So we have until the end of May to get into the America's Cup, and we're going to. So once we have the money, we apply, we purchase the training boat, and you're going to see effectively the Jamaican bobsled team training in Baltimore. Right?
I love it.
It's exciting.
And so what made you decide this is something that you wanted to do? What you had a vision for this. What were you doing prior to this to start stirring the pot to create a whole team
so
globally?
When I first got hired on Shamrock 5, which is the old J-class boat owned by Sir Thomas Lipton, I got excited and I said to myself, I wonder if we could ever have a team featuring Black sailors. And that was in me from the first time I stepped on the America's Cup boat, Shamrock 5. Then when I got hired by America Cubed, I was looking from an executive standpoint, how does a business run? How is it managed? How do you manage the crew? What's the schedule look like? And then as I project managed for the Russian team, I really honed my skills as a project manager and understood that I could manage a team. And that means you're going to grab in other sailors and other people that know this and just manage it, just like a football team or baseball team. And so it's exciting to get that kind of experience. Then you know that you can bring it home to African Americans. And then with the history of the Black Mariner, it becomes magnificent.
Mm-hmm. So are you going to create a documentary around this?
Documentaries will be created around this. And similar to the Jamaican bobsled team, we're going to have a movie made about this. And it's going to be a little bit less comical than Cool Runnings. It'll be entertaining. But the fact is, there's several movies on the history of the Black Mariner, and the authors of the books want to come and speak. So it'll be entertaining, but it's also going to be fact-based. And then the dynamic of designing the boat and building the boat will also be included. So we're going to have a dynamic movie that'll come. But during the process, we'll film everything and put it online so you can watch it step by step.
Mm-hmm. Give us 4 things that you would like the viewers to know or calls to action.
Well, the first thing I'll tell you is that when we applied to the America's Cup in 2011, they said no, and we ended up in a court case. So it was ADM, African Diaspora Maritime, versus GGYC, Golden Gate Yacht Club. And you say to yourself, why don't they want you to race in a sailboat race? And so once they fought against that, people supported it, and they sent me resources up to $1 million to go to court. Now, that case is settled and over and done with, and now we've paved the way to have the Jackie Robinson moment. Number 2, the America's Cup is expensive, but when we study macroeconomics, we realize that people make their money by buying small amounts of something. Snickers is rich because people buy Snickers all over the world. Nike's rich because they buy Nike products all over the world. So the same concept is macroeconomics is going to get us where we need to go. So there's 3. Number 4, when we make the surplus of money, ADM is going to set up craft factories in Baltimore, and we're going to use the extra money to open up 5 craft factories in cold glass blowing, cold glass sculpting, hot glass blowing, tongue and groove woodworking, ceramics, and something with carbon fiber. So we're going to train 50 people per factory, and we're going to start to recycle dollars and create Greenwood 2.0, Wall Street 2.0, or all the things that we've been hearing that used to happen. They sort of got run out of town or burned down. We're going to redo that, and we're going to give people opportunities. And they're not going to build things that are maritime related. They're going to build things that people around the world have we've identified they'll purchase, and they're beautiful. And we're going to start creating a financially stable African-American community starting in Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
So
And
the America's Cup is star power, but the practical application is building a solid financial base in Baltimore to start, and then we can go out in concentric circles and hit the other cities as well.
Mm-hmm. And so as you talk about these craft businesses, how do you get those started? And what's the infrastructure that you need to build in order to do that?
So the first thing that you have to have is a vision. And the vision's already been laid out. And so Craft City is what we're going to call it. And Craft City is the idea of taking a warehouse that's empty, and there's several empty warehouses in Baltimore, and going north, east, south, and west, and then bringing in 50 people and say, we're going to train you in cold glass sculpting. And if you haven't seen cold glass sculpting, just Google
Phenomenal.
it, and you're gonna realize it's fabulous.
Yes.
And cold glass blowing, I think or hot glass blowing, we know what that is. You have the tube and you blow the glass and you make something. People will buy it. And you say, well, who's the customer? And I will tell you right now, the March for George Floyd was the largest organized march in world history. And there's your customer, ready to buy something that African Americans produce. They feel empathy for us. And they're saying, wait a second, if you guys produce something beautiful, I'll purchase it. And they're also going to support African Diaspora Maritime. So the team is going to look good. They have a nice history behind it. The extra money that we have, we're going to create something within the community, and we're going to communicate that to Chicago, New York, Atlanta, Los Angeles. And there's going to be wealthy people that says, I have a pocket full of money. I'm from this hometown. How can I open up a craft factory? We're going to show them how. And if we start to recycle our dollars, we can get out of the financial doldrums that we seem to be in, where we're struggling. We have to own businesses within our own neighborhoods.
Mm-hmm. And in looking at where are those warehouses, these big barns of whatever that you need in order to build them, the ones that I've seen are generally close to waterfront properties, where some of the larger ones are. Where are you looking to invest in building these factory buildings?
So the craft factories, we've already identified in north, south, east, and central Baltimore, empty warehouses that can house 50 people. So what we're going to do is, when we make the money from introducing the America's Cup team and people are excited about the sailing, and it's just like a Jamaican bobsled team, that we'll have a surplus of money. We're projecting that we'll have the same sales as the Nigerian team. So before 2018, the movie Black Panther came out in February. It went to $1 billion faster than any movie. On the heels of the movie Black Panther, the Nigerian team for the World Cup had a fashion show online, and they sold 3 million jerseys at $90 a piece in 3.5 minutes. It'll take African Diaspora Maritime a lot longer, maybe 2 or 3 months to get to that number, but we're going to get to 3 million sales of our $95 jersey, and that's $285 million. From there, 100 million for sailing, 100 million for the craft factories. So that means you just identify the warehouse, sign the lease, bring the people in, bring in the expert, teach them for 6 months, bring in all the equipment, and start building your product. And we'll be able to broadcast and announce that we're making these things, and people around the world will purchase them. So we're excited about that.
So I know that when we look at the Nigerian teams, that we're also looking at Nigeria as a country. And the commitment is more about the continent versus Baltimore, right? How do you develop those relationships and bring in those big guns to be able to give you the support that you need here locally?
So believe it or not, we don't need the so-called big guns. We need the average citizen. So if you go to our website, admsailing.com, and you look at the shop section and you say, I like that bumper sticker, it's $10. Now, we have 50 million African Americans in the United States. We have Afro-Caribbeans in the Caribbean, and then in South America. So that's the diaspora. Also in Canada and all around the world, plus Africa. So when we have people that like this logo, like our project, like everything that they see, and they purchase so much as a bumper sticker for $10 or a hat for $40 or $45 or the jersey for $95, you're going to see that through macroeconomics, these numbers get big very quickly. So it'll be a simple question of hiring the teacher who knows how to make cold glass sculptures, and we're going to do that. So it's very simple.
And so when we look at Baltimore and we have a new governor. Do we have him involved in what we're doing so that the state of Maryland can be represented properly?
I want to say this about the governor. I met him a few years ago, and when you meet Governor Westmore, you're impressed. So his carriage, his visage, the words that come out of his mouth, the thought that he has, the ideas that he has, he's inspirational. So an inspirational leader like that wants us to go out and create the inspiration that he wants to see happen across the board. So he's not going to have a chance to meet everybody, but because of this team, it's going to get Jamaican bobsled level attention. Certainly he's going to support that. He likes the idea. When I told he and his wife about it, they slapped me on the back and they loved it. So I'm proud of knowing Governor Moore, and he's a gentleman. He's extraordinary. And I was at the inauguration, and I will tell you that lieutenant governor is absolutely fabulous as well. He's got a great team. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to have to do the same thing. It's not going to be the Charles show. We're going to have very capable and talented people all throughout the organization, and the sailors and the craft factories. And we're going to do diaspora sport as well, where we get young people and we buy 100 golf bags and give them lessons in golf, tennis, archery, badminton, anything that you can think of. And we're also going to have club diaspora, where we create the Baltimore Flyers, and we're going to get 100 people to get their pilot's license. I mean, these licenses don't cost that much. They're less than $10,000. And if we make $285 million, there's no way that we shouldn't do these things and create more opportunities, more excitement, and stimulate our young people's minds. And I won't even say young people. It's going to be certain people that are old or older. I'm old and I want to learn more. I learn something new every day. And so we have to learn new things all the time and every day.
And, I think that's really exciting, because I haven't seen anything like this that makes me actually leave during COVID to come and look at your grand opening, press conference, which I thought was very exciting.
It was exciting. Now, our actual opening was in September, and then the December event was the uniform reveal.
That's what it was. Yeah.
And then that reveal is going online on Monday. So we produced it and produced 30-second spots and shortened it up, and it's going to go all over the world. And people are going to be inspired, and they're going to see that this is thought out and that it's not just an ego grab, but we're actually going to do something where we have a moment where we can have a moment of clarity, realize that we have a beautiful history, and that we have to work together on a macro level. So we're going to be a steward of the things that people purchase. And when you go back and look at the history and just Google African Diaspora Maritime, or Google me if you need to, you're going to realize that going to court to have this team made a certain resolve in my heart. And I knew that we had to have this. So this is the Jackie Robinson moment. This is Althea Gibson. It's Arthur Ashe. It's all of the barrier, Venus and Serena Williams, Calvin Peete, Tiger Woods in golf. It's all of the things that we have to do as a people, which is break barriers and expand our horizons. And we're going to do that in a big way.
So tell us, give us 3 things that we need our audience to acknowledge, because this is a global show. And just to list a couple of things, the call to action, I guess.
Well, the things we need to acknowledge, and the call to action is very simple. We have the power within ourselves to create extraordinary wealth. And with that extraordinary wealth, we have to be stewards of the resources. So I'm committing to you that ADM is going to be a steward of the wealth that you help us create. We're not going to waste the wealth on useless items. So I've heard of many people that have created extraordinary wealth and then they didn't know what to do with it. And they pass out a backpack in the fall and maybe a turkey during Thanksgiving, and then they think they're doing something. We have to build factories, craft factories. We've identified 50. So if you go to admsailing.com and you see and read and look at the book list and look at the messages and the information that we have laid out and say, this is worthy of your time and energy, then I urge you and implore you to purchase something. And then when we reach the numbers of the purchases, we're going to apply to the America's Cup. And you're going to see that when we build the craft factories, it will be a template for Black Wall Street or Greenwood 2.0. And Baltimore is going to be the epicenter. But if we don't do this in Atlanta, Chicago, New York, and you can Philadelphia, you can name all the big cities where we have large amounts of African Americans. We can do this in Los Angeles as well, 5 factories per. Plus, we have to start owning more shops and businesses, and we'll have a capital base to do that. So the sailing's exciting.
Yes.
The mission here is that we've got to create our capital baseline and stabilize ourselves so we own the businesses. And remember, George Jefferson lived in a deluxe apartment in the sky, and he only owned the cleaners. So you don't have to be a rocket scientist. You can just be
that is real serious what you just said.
That's a big time, and we have to look at
man. That's real serious though. Back up, because no man, because I used to watch that, right? And you said the deluxe apartment in the sky, and he only owned out of all those floors, 20 some odd floors or whatever, one little corner with a dry cleaners.
That's right. So what we're going to do is the diaspora, the craft city will open up those factories, but those factories can support a sandwich shop, a laundromat. We can set up a ping pong hall, a pool hall, or anything, and have an HBCU grad manage it, and then hire somebody who's up and coming and let them work with you. And if you break even, that means we won, right? And ADM is going to finance this. So it's going to be my job to sit and write checks and help people put together a proper business plan. And we're going to help people do these things. And if we recycle our dollar just 4 times, we stabilize. But we have so many businesses that we can open up. So the first thing is you get a sexy, beautiful yacht with our logo on it. And you can get a hat or jacket or T-shirt, or you can get a bumper sticker, and you say, I like that. And then you realize not only do we fund the team, but we fund our own rehabilitation, where we start to make our own neighborhoods look like they're supposed to and not dilapidated. So this is a call to action for us as a people. And once we see this in action and happening, it can be stacked and scaled, and it can be replicated in any city where we have a significant African-American population. This is a chance for us to rewrite our own history.
You know, it's very interesting. And we look at a city like Baltimore, but there are many Baltimores across the country. But we look at the city where there's more than a couple thousand vacant homes. How do we create something where we are bringing in more people to live in the city, but to also rebuild the city, and using this as part of that development?
Beautiful question, Marcia. So in my mind, the craft factories, I'm going to require that the workers live within walking distance. And then once those craft factories spawn 3 or 4 more businesses, and then that community finds people that will purchase because they can come in and they see the community is on the rise, the property values go up, and people are going to realize, I need to get into these neighborhoods now while I can afford to. And if we control our own youth and control our own crime, these places can be safe. And if we own 90% of the neighborhood, we can lease out 20 to 30% of it and inhabit 50 to 60 to 70% of it and have residual income.
Yes.
I talked about City Oasis. Everybody knows what a food desert is. Well, guess what?
Yes.
We're still going to have money left over from the craft city and the craft factories and the diaspora sport. And we're going to have City Oasis. And City Oasis simply means taking the empty plots, cleaning out and putting clean soil in, getting rid of the broken glass or whatever is in there, and growing things. And we can have our own farmers market. We can have our own food cooperative, and we can share and send out packages of fresh vegetables and fruits to people who need them. And we are going to pay the people to do the farming. We're not going to say, do this for free. How are you going to live? ADM has 8 different uniforms, and one looks better than the other. And if people purchase the jerseys, we can have our own rehabilitation. And this is very serious because we can get our health under control. And if we eat healthy, if we can eat healthy, we can get rid of some of these ailments that are bedeviling us: high blood pressure, hypertension, diabetes, obesity. And we're not going to body shame people. We're going to talk to each other and look at us. I remember as a boy looking at Soul Train, and we used to have the best bodies in the world. So I'm telling you right now, I took off 15 pounds during the pandemic. I just left heavy food alone. I said, let me leave fried food alone, and let me leave things alone that I don't need to do. And it's serving me well. And we're going to have to just admit these things. And we're not admitting these things as silly or mean-spirited. It is simply the truth. We must take care of our health. We cannot continue to die for health-related reasons and lose our health when we can avoid it with diet and exercise.
And that we start dealing with the fact that the majority of our cities have communities with people who look like us, and they are in food deserts, and we need to affect that change.
So this is the way we're going to do it. People are going to see this template as we lay it out, and they're going to say, I can do this in our city, and I'll be darned if 8 a.m. is not going to help. So every time we release a jersey or something great happens with us, or we start to win these sailing competitions and become a household name, I'm telling you, and this is a commitment, this is worldwide, we're going to use these resources. And if you see me riding around with a Ferrari, please run up and slap me in the head because I've lost my view. We really have to use these resources to recycle them and invest in ourselves. So yes, I'm going to have a nice place to live, and I'll have a nice outfit, whatever, but this is not going to be in some crazy exorbitant thing. I'm already getting gray hair, so I'm not silly anymore. I'm almost wise. And that wisdom means that we have to do things that don't just self-congratulate Charles Kithcart, but we really can spread this out. I'd be thrilled if we can have an archery team and see what happens. People, and young and old, can learn archery. This isn't about an age limit. So you're going to see, and I've recruited some senior citizens who are also going to be models for our next photo shoot. And they laughed at me. They said, do you want me to be a model? Well, they're beautiful women. They had gray hair, handsome looking men, gray hair. I said, yes, we need 60 and 70-year-old models for African Diaspora Maritime as well. So this is sort of like a new Nike. And
I love it.
Nike is a multi-billion-dollar company because we've purchased their items.
You better believe it.
We have Nike items in our houses. And by the time we're done talking, we're going to have African Diaspora Maritime items in your house. And when you see this team, and you see the way we humbly present this team, and you see the way we do our christening, and the beauty and the inspiration that we're going to create, you'll realize that we're on the mark here.
Yes. And, I think it's so wonderful is in looking at all of this, and we don't really realize how important this is from a macro level, that our young people need to be able to see examples of who they should be. And most of our young people don't even know what they don't know. And it's having these experiences put in front of us for young people to be able to, I call it being able to see themselves there.
So I'm going to go back to Westmore. And I was at the inauguration, and his little son said, put your hand over your heart. And he pledged, he led the Pledge of Allegiance. And I looked up at that family, and I saw they looked magnificent. And we have a program called The Adventures of Captain Balti Kids. And so we're going to have the little kid around Westmore's son's age. And they're going to be, he's going to be dressed up like a little Napoleon. And they're going to have adventures with his crew in the Inner Harbor. and they'll be chased by pirates, same age group. And we're going to spread it around: Black, white, Asian, Hispanic, Jewish, Arabic. And you're going to have a moment where African Diaspora Maritime is a thought leader that we're going to inspire our youth, inspire adults, and have a moment where we can embrace each other and feel proud. So
I love it.
This is our moment. This is very serious. It is not just sailboat racing. This is a reclamation of the financial, social, cultural, and spiritual well-being of African Americans and the diaspora.
I love it. Charles Cathcart, thank you so much for joining us. We are so excited and so proud of you that you have launched this project here in Baltimore. And I just see the endless possibilities.
Marsha, thank you for having me. It's a thrill, and I can't wait to see you again.
I know it's been a minute. Thank you so much. And you all have to check out admsailing.com.
Sailing like a sailboat.
Sailing like a sailboat. All right. Thanks so much, Charles. Anything else we need to drop in or add?
I think we've done it. I think we've done it. The people are motivated. They're inspired. And we're going to have a moment for people to feel proud. And I am humbled. And I hear that all the time. I used to get mad when I heard people say it, but I feel humbled in my heart. When I go to bed at night, I'm thinking about how can we generate motivated people, inspired people, and the things that we can do to make a better America for ourselves and at large. This is our moment.
And our community. Thanks so much.
Thank
Talk to you soon. Thanks, Charles.
Thank you.
Thank you both. Such great, rewarding information to be able to see. I went to admsailing.com and I'm definitely on board. I will be featuring you in my newsletter. I'm just excited to hear about sailing. I grew up on speedboats, so I'm just excited.
This is extraordinary, and I'm thrilled. Yes. So we have the experience, we have the knowledge, the know-how, and we've been through the wars. They can't stop us. So we're going to have our Jackie Robinson moment, and there's going to be the first Black woman that's going to be in the America's Cup as well. So this is going to be some very, very proud moments.
It makes me want to sing, ain't no stopping us now. We're on the move.
Yeah.
We're on the move.
Ain't no stopping us now. That needs to see you need to be playing with that, brother. We're on the move.
We're on the move. We're on the move.
Yes.
Look at all the people who've done the work to get us to where we are. We can walk around, and so every time I walk and understand that I'm moving through American society. There was a time we had to march over the Edmund Pettus Bridge, and those people took some beatings for us. Yes. Here we are now. So we have to honor them, and we will.
Yes, and we will. Thank you, Charles.
Together, yes, we will.
And thank you, Eliza.
You're very welcome.
Thank you, ladies.
Have a good one.
You're very welcome. Genius has commented, and I will see you on the other side. Thank you once again. The Black Business Expo's mission is to raise funds for high school students to go to college. The Expo is a fundraiser for students. You may go now to www.theblackbusinessexpousa.com. To donate to the scholarship fund today, our goal is to give 10 laptops and up to $5,000 to students, and students can register right now online at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or the Cash App that is on the screen now. Let's thank the Black Business Expo USA sponsors for January of 2023. NC 100, Moody Capital Partners, Suede Soul, Lotus Richey Coaching and Training, Carolina, Virginia Minority Supplier Development Council, Step Management, Barbara H. Smith, LLC, Margie McLean Foundation, Inc., Levelless Business Strategies, Genius is Common, Movement, Earth Essentials, the Breathing Experience Academy, Vibe 9 Digital, Creative Force Studios, Lee Entertainment, Artists at Design. Artistic at Design. Kelly Service Agency, Black Business Expo USA. Genius is common, and we will see you on the other side.
I am a child of the Most High God. He has gifted me in ways that I could not even imagine and didn't know.
There was a time when I didn't know who I was. I listened to other people tell me who I should be, what I should do. I listened to people telling me that I should be a boutique owner, that I should be a construction manager, that I should be a laborer. Have you ever felt like you should do something else, be something else, go somewhere else, be wherever you wanted to be, and you felt like you were in a box? Anybody in the room? And you couldn't get out? Anybody in the room? And you kept trying to go and go and you couldn't get out? Anybody in the room? But let me tell you, you need to rock the box. Rock the box.
I am engaging, inspiring, and empowering. I would give you everything I know. Just by touching you, if I could, by osmosis, give you every single thing I've learned, I've gone through, I know I would. We know that's not possible, but as it is possible, I love to share information with people.
Some of you out there, people have told you that you can't be, you can't have, you can't do. But I will tell you, like Kinston said, you can, you must, and you will. If it's to be, it's going to be me. You got to say it. If it's to be, it's going to be. If it's to be, it's going to be. If it's to be, it's going to be.
Barbara is because she believed what her mama said about her and not what other people told her.
Every day you wake up, when you're in a situation, it's your choice whether it's an advantage or the disadvantage.
She gained her confidence and her life, and now she is a testimony.
If I can help you elevate yourself, then I feel like I'm elevating my own self as well. What you know and I know together can change the world.
Did you know Black women are the fastest growing group of entrepreneurs? However, only 3% of Black women have established a sustainable, thriving business that has lasted more than 5 years. Why is there such a huge gap between creating and sustaining a business? Common obstacles like money and resources. But on a deeper level, self-doubt, lack of support, undervaluing self, stress and overwhelm, relationship challenges, health challenges, work-life imbalance, and unsure of purpose and passion. Meet Milani Shani Global. Our mission is to coach and mentor Black women entrepreneurs into sustainable, thriving, and highly lucrative businesses that provide an opportunity for you to use your authentic gifts and talents and make an impact on your community. As your business transforms, your personal life transforms, giving you access to the lifestyle you have always envisioned for yourself. When you enroll in our coaching systems and programs, you will discover how to craft an authentic, highly lucrative business, ignite your sales and multiply your income with simple strategies, master your mindset and release stress, overwhelm, procrastination, and self-doubt. Activate your passion and personal fulfillment. Unleash and align your natural gifts and talents with winning business strategies. We provide simple solutions and training in the areas of sustainable business strategies, work-life balance and stress management, leadership legacy, authentic branding, intuitive marketing solutions, product and course development, profitable communities and partnership, and personal growth and development. Take your business to the next level today and discover how to sustain your success. Milani Shani Global, a company by women for women for over 35 years. Visit us at www.msglobal1.com or call 704-313-9132 and enroll in one of our programs to get started today.
What if you could build your own city? A place where every child can find nurturing people to help them achieve their full potential. A place where every adult can access job training support, where health education is abundant, where social justice ruled the land. A place without limitations. Welcome. You have arrived at STEM City, USA. It is what every city should be. A safe and trusted community where you find people and resources to help you become everything you are and beyond. STEM City is unlike anything you have ever experienced. It is a digital twin of the world around you, only better. STEM City is about energy and soul renewal. It is more than a digital world. You can almost feel the power of live cultural events, music, and theater. STEM City promises a better future for children with caring mentors and hands-on activities with dedicated tutors to support our youth. STEM City is your passport to a healthy lifestyle with weekly events addressing our community's many issues. STEM City is your financial well-being with helpful information on wealth management, career advancement, job training, and so much more. STEM City is the community you deserve. It is the city where your dreams can come true. STEM City USA, a place in the sky that is accessible to all who reach for the stars.
Did you know that approximately 333.34 million businesses exist today, according to a report from 2021? And you may be one of those businesses, or maybe you're not in the business market yet, but you're aspiring to be a business owner. Well, guess what? You're in the right place at the right time. Because let's face it, everything is about timing and opportunity. Hi, my name is Dr. Lotus Richer, and I'm the CEO and founder of the Lotus Richer Coaching and Consulting, LLC, along with the Lotus Richer Ignite Show. 15 minutes of success with Dr. Lotus Richer, as well as books to boom your business and bring who you are. And today, I want to bring this amazing message to you about the Black Business Network and the Black Business Olympics. See, the Black Business Network and the Black Business Olympics is designed to help people just like you, that's right, that look like me, to take their business to the next level. Not just in your front yard or your backyard, but globally. The Black Business Network and Black Business Olympics is designed not to just help you survive, but to help you thrive. So join us today as we come together with businesses all around the world to support our students, our children, our young teens, our young entrepreneurs. What we do is we come together to help raise funds for students who are aspiring to be business entrepreneurs, who are aspiring and who are thriving in college. We endow them with a wonderful opportunity to gain scholarship of either a laptop or several thousands of dollars. And we invite you to help be a contributor to this amazing opportunity to help someone that looks just like you.
So join us today at our website and let us connect with you and help you ignite and take flight in every area of your life on the Black Business Network and the Black Business Olympics. I'll see you on the other side.
Prepare for what's coming and dominate in economic winter. Stand strong and thrive by showcasing your great products and services globally through the Black Business Network and Black Business Olympics. The Black Business Network has showcased over 2,000 companies with over $7 billion in sales each year. Over 10 million attendees have viewed the rebroadcast each month. Through the Black Business Olympics, unique styles of business training and mentoring are turning students into business owners and entrepreneurial warriors who will dominate in any economy. Gain the ultimate advantage of the Black Business Olympics, 7 days of unbelievable topics and speakers speaking around the globe. Donate your time and experience to provide expertise and scholarships to students worldwide and change the world. Now, more than ever, new insights, tools, strategies, and capabilities are needed. This is your chance for a major presentation to the world. Fill out the form and join the more than 2,000 speakers who have presented to over 200 countries. Join the Black Business Network streaming live into the Metaverse, STEM City, Black Multiverse Enterprises, Hulu, Amazon, YouTube, iHeartRadio, Apple, Facebook, LinkedIn, Pod TV, IBM TV, Spotify, and Google Podcasts. Sign up today. Spaces are limited, and we will see you there.
Did you know women represent just 3% of Fortune 500 CEOs and less than 15% of corporate executives at top companies worldwide? Have you wondered what the secrets are to getting into the top ranks, whether in the private or public sector? Do you want to figure out how to stop being held back in your career or passed over for promotion? Then you're in the right place. Hi, I'm Dr. Madeline Ann Lewis, President and CEO of the Executive Women's Success Institute. I have decades of experience in the military, the federal government, and corporate America, and my mission is to help women succeed and tap into their full potential. I want to reach 1 million plus women around the world to become the leaders they are meant to be. So if you want to move into a management or executive level position, or maybe you are a female veteran transitioning out of the military into business entrepreneurship, then reach out to the Executive Women's Success Institute at 301-693-3284. Let us get you on the fast track to success.
So what we have to do is when we get in a spot, we need to create some spots for us. That's the main thing. We need to be able to be in a position where we're able to create those spots for us. For me, being an entrepreneur, I'm not just going to get a business and then leave you sitting high and dry. If you ask me some questions about entrepreneurship, I'm going to give you as much as I've received. I've seen people who made it, and then when you ask them, it's like, okay, now you have to pay me for the information, the same information I got for free. We probably in totally different cities. There's no way that we're going to bump heads or anything. We're not competing. Bring me up with you. And so I just think that whatever education that I have, then I need to be able to give that to my own as well. So create the spots. You can create the spots when you get there.
I'd like you to imagine with me, if you will, opening an app where you can collaborate with like-minded individuals from around the world, get inspiration and in-app tools to launch and grow your business, as well as share your knowledge and earn compensation, all in one app. Well, the name of that app is Truso, short for Truly Social. Hi, I'm Matthew Newman, the founder and CEO of Truso. A new concept in social media, Truso is designed from the ground up to be a platform that's both social and empowering for all its users. How exactly do we do that? I'm glad you asked. First, Truso brings the world together via video. Psychologists assert that video provides a significantly more effective connection than audio only. When you enter a community on Truso, you're face to face. Second, on Truso, you don't have to have 1 million followers to monetize. Our business model allows all hosts and moderators to monetize, no matter the size of your following, by 1, producing fee-based content, and 2, inviting others to join the platform as subscribers. Even more, Truso has an in-app resource library with over 100 free resources, forms, and documents to help you build your brand and grow your business. Third, Truso is inclusive. The deaf and hard of hearing communities make up 360 million people worldwide. Unlike audio-only apps, Truso embraces its community, providing a networking platform that allows them to participate via video and closed captioning. We even have a deaf and hard of hearing foundation in the works as well. Fourth, Truso is both social and safe. We refer to Truso as a virtual extension of the beauty shop, barbershop, and brainchild of the community. A place where there's laughter, along with wisdom, growth-oriented conversation, and genuine connections in a safe space. Truso even has proprietary security to ensure we maintain a safe environment for everyone. Where are we at now? Truso is live, y'all. We've launched in beta and we're acquiring users daily. We have an incredible development and marketing team, plus amazing celebrity influencers at the table, helping us spread the word around the globe, beginning within the African diaspora and beyond by creating a safe space for growth, connection, and collaboration. We're truly excited about Truso. We've created something special for which there is a global market. And we invite you to embark on this journey with us as a shareholder. The future for Truso is truly bright. Join us and let's go there together.
One second.
I am Black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep. Yes, I am Black business. I am Black business. Tell me, are you Black business? I am Black business. Do you support Black businesses? Listen, I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. The world! Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black business.
Dr. Eric Kelly III, and the host of phenomenal speakers from all around the globe for this 7-day virtual event that you don't want to miss.
The mission of the Black Business Expo is to raise scholarship money from kids all the way from high school all the way from college. The Black Business Olympics is one of the largest Black business showcases in the world. It is an opportunity for businesses and companies to showcase their businesses globally. We are going to be giving away laptops up to $5,000 away to students. Again, I'm Olivia Appleberry, the founder of 2 Cents Finance and one of the speakers for the expo. I am so excited to see you there. For more info, go to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090 and hope to see you there.
I am Black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep. Yes, I am Black business. I am Black business. Tell me, are you Black business? I am Black business. Do you support Black businesses? Listen, I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo. One of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. The world! Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black business.
I am Black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black business. I am Black business. Are you Black business? I am Black business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black business.
Wow, we are back. Welcome. Great day, business owners, entrepreneurs, thought leaders, and corporations. Welcome to the Black Business Network. I am Eliza Carter, an emotional freedom advisor to highly successful women who ignore their stress. And I'm the CEO of the Breathing Experience Academy. Visit me at thebreathingexperience.com. I am your anchor for this evening on the Black Business Network. The Black Business Network is a 24-hour business network showcasing Black businesses, business owners, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders worldwide. We have speakers from North Carolina, London, Singapore, Japan, and cities all over the United States. The Black Business Network is a global community sharing its business knowledge to empower, inspire, and educate businesses about business. Our next amazing speaker is Marsha Reeves-Jews, who has more than 30 years of C-level work experience, specializing in corporate and military expositions, trade shows, and career fairs, marketing, public relations, communications, live streaming, talk show host, executive level events and destination events, publishing magazines and souvenir journals, planning and management, conference, trade show design, production and management, magazine and newsletter publishing, business and relationship development, destination weddings. Marsha Jews and Company, LLC, known as MJ&C, a well-honed marketing and communications machine. Welcome today. And I present to you Mrs. Marsha Reeves-Jews.
Hello, how are you? It's nice meeting you again. Thank you.
Yes, thank you as well. I'm excited to be with you because the first time I met you, Mrs. Reeves, was really when you
said, my name is Marsha.
Okay, all right, Marsha. All right. Well, you know how we are in our community.
I know.
we still honor.
I appreciate you.
Those of you, yes. So I had this one segment of time to meet you, and this is what I really fell in love with you. And I have to say this because you said, if you don't know what you don't know, how do you get to know what you need to know when you don't know? And I may have screwed it up, but that's my concept. If you don't know what you need to know, how do you get to know what you need to know? You got to ask somebody. So let's ask you some questions about that.
Please do.
So having the C level, we hear C level all the time, and we know our audience is going to be teenagers, is going to be those who are in college, looking to go to college, and amazing business owners. Being at the C level for over 30 years, how did you maintain? When I look at the array of your experience, I can only imagine some of the challenges that you've experienced just maintaining a C-level experience to go through and say, you know what, this is where I am today because I stayed the course. I kept the faith, and I've continued to excel no matter what.
I don't know about staying the course. I didn't know what the course to take, for real. No, I'm serious. You know, people... I think when I talk, people are like, wait, what? I haven't done anything I was supposed to do.
Okay. I like that.
I haven't done anything I was supposed to do. I was supposed to go to Dillard University and I was supposed to graduate. And I didn't want to be there. And I said, I'm out. Okay. And I wasn't there a good 9 months. And I left and moved to California. I did not finish. I do not have a degree.
Wow.
I do not have a degree. And I've never lied to say I've had a degree.
Okay.
I don't have a degree. And my first job in California, went and stayed with my Uncle Roy, and it was with Glen Organ Ford. And I was renting cars in LA, and it was horrible. I just, why do I want to rent cars? I don't want to go give them. You got to put the key in. You got to get close to people and talk to them and jump out the car. Yeah, I didn't want to do all that. So I started looking around, and I got a job as a receptionist at TAV in Century City, Trans-American Video. And Trans-American Video Corporation was the first videotape leasing facility in the world. And Curly Morrison and Fred somebody were the owners of that company, former football players. And what they did, and you see all those vans that used to be out on the field, and they had those big towers and all that, that's what Trans-American Video did. And they videotaped all those football games, right? So I was a receptionist. So when you got off the elevator, there's Marsha. But that was boring. And so I said, is there something else I can do? I was the only little black thing in there too. And they sent me over to the production over on Vine. Yeah, Vine. And that's where I learned how to pull all these pieces together. And I became the little secretary, and I learned all that. And then I spent as much time as possible and moved back to South Bend, Indiana, because of some family issues. And ultimately got married and went through 3 husbands. And that was, fun and gone and by. But I really started my real career, sitting at the bar at Hogate's in Washington, D.C. And I was working at Neiman Marcus. Neiman Marcus was fun, and you get the little discount. That's what I really liked. But there was a couple, man and woman, Sonny and Jim Hester. And they would be at the bar at the same time. So in DC on a Friday night, everybody who was anybody doing anything at your party, your stop, you had a stop happening all through the city, right? So you start off at Hogate's and you go up to the 16th Street, then you come back over here and you go over to the Four Seasons. So it was like a thing, right? Mm-hmm. And so in between that, the conversation with these two people we just hit it off. And this went on for like a month, almost 2 months. And they said, we really like you. Are you really happy at Neiman Marcus? I said, well, I really like the discounts. They're wonderful. And so they said, well, don't you want to do a little something more than that? My daughter was in elementary school. I said, well, maybe, let's see. So I went over to the office, and they were working on they developed a magazine called the Amphibious Warfare Review magazine. And I started selling advertising to defense companies for the Amphibious Warfare Review magazine. And then they said, well, you know what? We think we want to do a big trade show, and we want to do an exhibit. And we did that, the Modern Day Marine Force and Readiness Military Exposition. And we did the first one down in Tucson, Arizona, where we brought in all kinds of companies from all over the world. And that was just wonderful. So you do that. And I did that for years. Brought in the Scorpion vehicle. It was actually used by it was created by Alvis Limited. And it was out in the Falkland Island War with its crew members. And I did the logistics to bring them to Washington, D.C. to, at that time, it was called the Sheraton Washington Hotel. It's a Marriott up on Connecticut Street. And those people who were in that doggone tank during the Falkland War talked about lessons learned with the Commandant of the Marine Corps, the President of the United States, and I coordinated that. She with no degree, right? And then you sit down and you're looking at, wait a minute, why don't we create a pavilion? So we bring everybody over. And we had all these defense contractors from Britain, Germany, France, Australia, to come in with an international pavilion and show the United States Marine Corps how their products should be purchased by them. Now, I was there at the beginning of the development, and we went from one exhibit hall to all three.
Okay.
Right? And you sit down and you look at this, and Frank Peterson, he just died, Lieutenant General, 3-star, and he was the first Black aviator. They just christened a ship in his name with the United States Marine Corps and Navy, right? So I'm saying all this, these are some of the things that I've done, but that was my foundational work.
Okay.
And I was the only Black thing in the building. So we can't get caught in what that expectation should be, or the fear of what other people think or do. I mean, I got into it with some of those dudes.
Okay.
I mean, like, really, this one guy who became the president of the company, small guy, anyway, and he 1-star general, retired, and he used to love to run. Again, remember, I'm the only Black thing there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the only Black thing female there. And he didn't know me from the beginning. So every day that I'd get to work after he started, he would take a piece of paper, because they didn't have stickies back then. He'd take a piece of paper and a piece of tape, and he'd stick it to the back of my chair with a little note, a directive, call so-and-so, buy so, whatever, on each one. So by the time I drove from Bethesda to Virginia, the whole back with those high back Naugahyde chairs, the whole back of the thing was filled with a million little pieces of paper. They're just little pieces of paper all over the back of the chair. So you couldn't sit down. I had to take all the little piece of paper before I could sit in my chair. So after a couple of days, I was like, this ain't gonna work for me. So I'm a little country girl from South Bend, Indiana. People don't treat you like that over on the east side of South Bend, Indiana, growing up in the 50s. Girl, I took that whole thing, balled it up in my hand. I walked into his office, and he said, wait a minute. He said, let me get, and he called, because there was only like 6 people in there, and he called them all in on the little, he called it the horn, so that they hear it, the whole building, right? I'm gonna get on the horn. He goes, I'm gonna call everybody. I need you guys to come in here right now. I think, and my I was divorced, but my last name was Fisher. I think Miss Fisher has something she needs to say to you guys. And so let's give her the floor. And I said, General, if you put another one of these on the back of my chair, I'm going to beat your
Oh my goodness.
So my expectation was that I was fired. I was making stupid money too, girl. I said, and thank you. And I turned to leave, right? Because I figured I was fired. I done cussed him out in front of everybody. Now I know I'm gone.
Oh, goodness.
And they all started laughing and applauding. And I said, what you laughing at? And they said, we were wondering how long it was going to take you to get tired of this. Hold on. Can you take a break 1 second? I got somebody at my front door. Hold on. My daughter.
Absolutely.
I am a child of the Most High God. He has gifted me in ways that I could not even imagine and didn't know.
There was a time when I didn't know who I was. I listened to other people tell me who I should be, what I should do. I listened to people telling me that I should be a boutique owner, that I should be a construction manager, that I should be a laborer. Have you ever felt like you should do something else, be something else, go somewhere else, be wherever you wanted to be, and you felt like you were in a box? Anybody in the room? And you couldn't get out? Anybody in the room? And you kept trying to go and you couldn't get out? Anybody in the room? But let me tell you, you need to rock the box. Rock the box.
I am engaging, inspiring, and empowering. I would give you everything I know. Just by touching you, if I could, by osmosis, give you every single thing I've learned, I've gone through, I know I would. We know that's not possible, but as it is possible, I love to share information with people.
Some of you out there, people have told you that you can't be, you can't have, you can't do. But I will tell you, like Kingston said, you can, you must, and you will. If it's to be, it's going to be me. You got to say it. If it's to be, it's going to be. If it's to be, it's going to be. If it's to be, it's going to be.
Barbara is because she believed what her mama said about her and not what other people told her.
Every day you wake up, when you're in a situation, it's your choice whether it's an advantage or the disadvantage.
She gained her confidence and her life.
Awesome. We are back. We are still in the studio with Marsha Reeves Jews. Glad to see you back.
I'm so sorry. You know, sometimes you just got to do what you got to do and keep it moving.
That is the truth. That is the truth.
Right? You got to keep it moving. I do apologize for the interruption.
We understand that. I'm loving your story because, you know, as the Black Business Network really does cater to those who are looking to go to college, actually in college. And, you know, when I said to you about the road, you know, I'm staying the course. You know, the road is never straight. A lot of people think that it's supposed to be, but the nuances that show up, the opportunities that make you have to make a different choice, it's always going to be available in life. And sounds like to me when I'm listening to your journey so far is that you made a lot of choices to make sure that you stood in what you believed. And that's a key component for now is knowing what you believe, being willing to give up and throw in the towel to everything for what you believe so that you don't lose your dignity.
And that's real. See, too often we find physical things that are more important, that we want this big house, we want this, we want that, we need this. But sometimes it comes at a cost, right?
Yes.
And I'm going to share some of the crazy things that I've gone through, and hopefully that'll also help. I mean, I was married to a man who had, I don't even know how many different degrees, and working for Wyandotte Chemicals, nice this, nice that. But he was crazy and picked me up and threw me in a glass table. And I'm his wife, not some person on the street that just beat him up. This is his wife. So the next day, I put my daughter on my hip, a paper bag in my other hand, and hitchhiked to the Houston airport and called my daddy to send me a ticket.
Wow.
And I never went back.
Okay.
The end. And so life presents things to you, and you can make life decisions on whether or not General Hagen is going to be the right person. It was a test. They were testing me to see what I would do, because I wasn't a Marine, and I was a woman, and I'm Black.
Right.
Right.
Wow.
So I got all this that they had to deal with and make a decision. They could say, well, we're going to fire, or, you know what, she be doing some real good stuff, man. I don't know if you want to fire or not. Right. So those are life decisions that I made and they made.
And they're hard decisions, they're challenging decisions. But once again, when you know that you've had enough, you can't take something. And this is what I tell the youth all the time, or anyone who's dealing with stress and pressure. You have to find a way to release it. If it means that you have to take a step that you've never taken, and that's always going to be right, then you have to make the next step that levels you up to say, you know what? I hold on to my peace, and as we always say, and let God fight my battle. But I know in this battle, I've got to make a choice. So let me ask you, did he fire you? And you said no. So what happened next?
No. Heck no, honey. The next thing I knew, that Sheraton Washington Hotel, we took up the next several years, all 3 exhibit halls.
Wow.
You go to the Sheraton, it's called the Marriott now, but you can go down in that basement to this day, and there are 3 huge exhibit halls, and they were full when Marcia Reed's Jews. I was Fisher back then, but when I got finished with it, that's what it looked like, right? And so we have to really dig down into ourselves and look at where we are and what we are. And I've had many of these little crazy things that I've had to make life decisions. Those are life decisions and then you have to really stand up for who you are. Is it worth it? I walked away from 10 bathrooms to 1.
Wow.
10 bathrooms to 1. And a lot of my friends are, girl, I'd be thinking about, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. And so we have to sit down as women, particularly Black women. You have to set your boundaries.
Absolutely.
Be it in the workplace, be it with your circle of influence, be it with your friends, be it with your family, be it what you have to create. How far can I allow these people to encroach upon my being?
That is it. That is it.
Right?
Yes.
And especially when you're a professional woman, you have a major responsibility over here. Then you've got this major responsibility that is pulling at your heartstring.
Yes.
Right? So you've got the yin and yang. And how do you find that in between where you know that it's a safe haven for you to make a decision or not, or be ready to deal with the consequences, whatever they are?
Listen, that takes us straight into diversity, inclusion, and equity. Because, I mean, that's the newest term out, but you know, and in our world, we know what fair treatment is. We know what unfair treatment is, and it's back to the boundaries again. And everybody listening, you know, after what I call the pandemic, you know, World Health Organization says,
right.
over 1 billion of us have mental health, and it's all into the melting pot. So it's like now, if people are not getting the help to be able to say, okay, how can I maintain a C-level lifestyle if I'm falling apart? And, you know, being in college, they're stretched. I talk to a lot of professors now. The kids are not performing in college like they used to because they don't have the support, or they just don't have the wherewithal because they don't understand how to take care of themselves mentally, still set the goals to get out of school, and still understand that, you know, bullying shows up in all kinds of ways.
Yes.
The stress is not getting any easier if you have not put a plan in place to be able to process through the stress and the pressure and the mental overload, and the anxieties.
Right.
The
That's right.
PTSD is so
Yes.
real right now, you know? So
Yes.
thinking about, you know, your self-care plan, how do you handle the stressful situations? Because you've been through so many over the years, because you've actually grown up in a time where when you talk to the youth now, they're like, what? I wouldn't even have the heart to say, I'm going into the executive's office or the owner of the company's office and say, I'm not doing this anymore. You pushed my last button, you know? So having that kind of courage to say, I'm at that point. How do you handle life now?
In the same way.
Okay.
In the same way, I have a voice. I'm going to use my voice. I am 70 years old. I'll walk all over this town. I'd get up and I don't even know how many miles I'll be walking around. My daughter said, you can't be, I'm just doing it. I think that it's, how do you see yourself?
Mm-hmm.
How do you see yourself? Am I really going to just allow you to make life decisions for my life?
That's good.
Am I going to allow you to decide what I should wear or where I should go, what I should say, and to whom and when? I don't think so.
Mm-hmm.
We have to believe in ourselves, and we have to have the courage to want to be able to say what is actually going on. You have to speak truth to power.
Yes.
You really do. And we can't just walk away and sit and go and crumble in the corner. We have to have that fight. You will not disrespect me. You will not disrespect me to my face. And if you disrespect me to somebody else, they're going to tell me anyway. And that's all I needed, because now I see who you are. I'm not going to get upset about it. I'm not going to throw in the towel. I'm going to say, thank you, Lord, for exposing that fool to me.
Yes.
Thank you. You mean that's all I needed to do for you to get out of my life? Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Because see, we hold on to stuff. We think because, you know, oh, this is a popular person, or this is a popular thing, or this is, and it's what? At the sum total, can you still look at yourself in the mirror? In the sum total, are you going to cry yourself to sleep? Are you going to sit down and say, oh, they really hurt my feelings, talking to myself and curling up in the bed, doing all that foolishness behind somebody that don't give a daggone about you in the first place? Come on.
Yes.
And this happened to me not too long ago. Somebody I had been very close to, and just what happened? What happened that you can't be respectful to me? Okay, so this is what we're going to do. I'm going to delete your number and block it.
Wow.
Because you won't do this to me. I don't care how long I've known you. I don't care what you do. I don't care how much money you make. I don't care how big your house is or how big your car is, because it ain't doing nothing over here.
That's it. That is it.
It ain't doing nothing over here. And you will not do that to me. And you can't do it to me in the workplace.
That's it.
You cannot do it in the workplace. You cannot talk to me in a terrible tone of voice and expect me to be just happy and celebratory. Come on now. But see, here's the other thing. I'm willing to lose 10 bathrooms to 1.
Yes.
For the peace.
For the peace.
For the peace.
Oh my goodness. Yes. Yes. Wow.
But we get so caught in all of the trimmings.
Mm-hmm.
Just go away anyway. They get dusty, they get old. You want to stay here for that? Really? You want to be my friend and why? And this is how you treat me? Your tone of voice, how you talk to me on the phone, or how you respond or not respond?
Absolutely.
When I've put myself out to be supportive, but you can't do the same. So why are you in my life? Why are you looking? How do you feel when you hang up the phone talking to that person? How do you feel when you close the door and get out the car?
Totally relieved, because in your spirit, in your heart, you've been taking something that did not agree with who you are, which you should accept. And it caused anxiety and stress and pressure in places it need not be, when you can just simply say, you know what, this relationship is over on my terms, because it doesn't serve me as my highest self. It takes from me. It draws me. It drains me. It frustrates me. No, not doing this. Because I've been married 3 times.
Me too.
People have, right?
So we got the 3 times 3. 3 times 3 club.
But this time it's a charm.
Okay, I haven't even done that yet. Oh, I don't know. I can wait a little bit longer. We'll see.
But being willing to try again, you know what I mean? Sometimes people are not, but it's like you get to the fork in the road and you say, I know who I am. I know what I'm willing to accept. I know what I bring to the table. And this is what the youth really have to learn. And I can't even put an age limit on it, because I work with women from the age of 30 on up. And some of them are dealing with the same boundaries, issues, and whatever the issues are, it's still about, do you know who you are? What are you willing to accept? What you can live with and what you cannot live with. And when you do find people who support you, you have to know how far you trust somebody. Everybody doesn't get the same level of trust, and everybody doesn't have the same influence upon you, and you don't have the same influence on everybody else. So who do you have in your inner circle? And who do you have in your outer circle? You know what I mean? And making sure that you understand these boundaries and set them up and stand in them, so that you can maintain the seed levels of life once you get there. You know what I mean? On the professional side of what you do. When I look at the things that you do and all the different ways you have built your company, you've had to fire and hire. You've had to do some of the hard things. And, a lot of youth are getting into entrepreneurship. So we know that you need, once again, the support system to say, okay, whether I finish college or not, I'm not going to beat myself up. But you have to commit to being a life learner.
That's exactly right. And I'm a reader. So I read, when I say read, I read everything. There's a new thing out. There's a new this is this, who's doing that, what DY, who I want to know. So I absorb information. I just read everything. I read everything. And that's really what you need, is getting the information, learning about what that information is, and then being able to do something with the information. Now that you have that information, what are you going to do with it? And how can you build not only your company, but build yourself, your self-esteem, your self-worth? How do we keep all of that within the boundaries that work for you? And you don't have to assume the responsibility of what other people think you should be doing, because you have your own path. You have your own goals and objectives. And I see that I have our next speaker, who is Taru Brooks. Wait a minute, how did Taru Brooks get on here? Don't go anywhere, Eliza, because this one right here, wait a minute, let me introduce you. Don't you go nowhere. Wait a minute, let me get his stuff up here. Taru Brooks is a dynamic communications and marketing professional, executive producer, event planner, and lifestyle architect. Whether representing a high-profile client or planning a presidential event, he is a modern-day Renaissance man. Yes, he is. Brooks has a proven track record delivering results that leaves an indelible impression on all who encounters him. He currently serves on the boards for social change and Stillman College. He is passionate about human rights, educational issues, and supporting future generations. He has recently channeled his vast experience to create What About Me, a documentary that allows the world to see what Black men think and feel about how we are viewed in America. Welcome, Teru Brooks. How are you today, sir?
I'm amazing.
Oh,
I'm
she
amazing.
left.
It's good to see you.
It's good seeing you too. So how are you doing?
I'm
You got
amazing.
your hands in. Yes, you are. You are amazing with a capital A.
You have white hair. I have a white beard.
I know. That's a lot of years, brother.
Time.
I know, but you've been doing some wild, wonderful things. Talk about what you've been up to.
Wow. Well, how far you want me to go back?
As far as you want.
Well, the current things is I am on this plight to improve the image of Black men in America. I recently wrote a op-ed about the Emmett Till movie. We hear about the mother and the son all the time, but no one ever speaks about the uncle who was the caretaker for Emmett while in Mississippi. So I wrote the op-ed from his perspective because he really didn't have a choice in the matter. And I carried it on, brought up to date to where Black men are still not humanized.
Yes.
You know, because if you see the news today, you have Ahmaud Arbery on there. You hear the mother talking, but you rarely hear from the father, and they're right there.
Why is that?
So it's a lack of respect that I just won't stand for. And so the documentary you referenced, I wrote out of frustration from watching the negative images they had on us as Black men. So, I got a group of friends together and we produced the What About Me? We talk about how we're viewed from our perspective. And from that, we are doing one on Black fathers that's going to come out in June.
I love it.
We're going to speak about Black fathers in various spaces. Black fathers who have all daughters. Black father who's lost a child. Black father who has adopted. So we have a plethora of different lenses to see us, right? Just finished a documentary for the National Black MBA Association. So theirs should come out this first quarter. So I'm really proud of that.
That's cool.
And then the final documentary this year, well, I won't say the final, but the third one is about the Brock Foundation.
Now, what's that?
The Brock Foundation is founded by a young man named Omar Brock. He's a young Black pilot for Delta. Omar is 33 years old. He founded this nonprofit to teach young African-American teens how to fly and become pilots. When I met him, very randomly in the store, we sat down and had a conversation. I was blown away at this reality as it changes generations for us. You have travel behind you. That's great exposure. And then with the income of pilots, that allows you to live a certain lifestyle. So that really changed. This is a game changer.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how is that positioned to other fields of business?
You mean the aviation?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's new for me, to be quite honest. But the steps are still the same. So to support the infrastructure of the nonprofit, we have a trip to DC next week where I'm introducing different members of the transportation committees. So as he grows, get his airports and more planes, he'll have the infrastructure support, to help him through this process because he's going to need it,
Mm-hmm. So are you going to do a documentary on this whole process as well?
Yes.
You say yes. This seems to be this is a real passion for you, these documentaries. Let's talk about that. How did you get so into this? I love it.
Well, it just takes me back to my days at BET. BET was one of my first jobs, and I worked in the special projects for syndication division, which was their first time ever doing documentaries. The first documentary a tribute to Black music legends, got an Emmy nomination. So at 25 years old, yours truly got an Emmy nomination. So I love writing. It's a part of my reality. I stuttered bad as a child, and I was forced to write a lot to express myself. So the very thing I thought would be a weakness became a strength. And with that said, this is so funny because
I don't know what you get ready to say, but I know it's going to be juicy. Go ahead.
So with that said, I'm being published in a book this year that comes out in May. It's called Mannish Waters. It's an anthology of writings from Black scholarly men. And I'm one of the 23 Black men that was asked to write a chapter about my life. Very challenging, very intimidating. I wanted to quit like 3 times, and my mother was like, she's not having it.
Right. And y'all, his mama loves the air he breathes and the ground he walks on, and they love each other like that. So we know that she's not gonna let that go.
Not at all. So I wrote the chapter as if my life was akin to a pot of gumbo, and all my lived experiences have been simmering to perfection, and I'm the roux. You know,
I love. Oh, and the roux is everything.
It is everything.
The roux is everything. It's a gumbo, boy, for real. You can't have no gumbo without the roux.
You cannot. Well, the big thing is the title. The title, I did not come up with the title until the very last minute before I hit the send button on my email. The title of my chapter is "For You, I Give." And the book reads as though I'm walking through the park and holding your hand. It's going to make you smile, make you laugh, may make you even cry a little bit. But it's very tender, very loving, very intentional.
Yeah. Very intentional.
So,
but you don't do things that aren't intentional.
No.
You're very focused on the outcome. And so every movement has to be directed towards the goal.
A must.
A must.
But you've been knowing me a long time.
I was gonna say, I know.
You've seen the elevation. You know, even at 25.
Oh, wait a minute. Like extreme.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I mean, starting out, my 4th or 5th event was one of the inaugural balls for President Clinton. Yes. So it just goes up from there.
And so it goes up from there with Clinton. So now where did it go that you up on that trajectory? Come on now.
Hey, it's a different seat. It's one thing to write for a company. It's a different ball game to produce it yourself.
Yes.
And so with my lived experiences, I had the courage to step out on faith and do it. And I really enjoy it. I love creating. I love to create. And this is an opportunity to tell our stories. We have to document. We must document. And, I've been fortunate enough to know a lot of people from around the world.
Yeah.
And I like to bring good people together and make good things happen.
And that's your motto.
Okay.
Pretty much, right?
Part of it. Well, the one of late is you don't have to audition for your own life. It's already yours.
Mm-hmm. But
so I live by that.
Yes, and some people don't even realize that intentionality is going to come forth, and you have the decision to either embrace or release.
That's right. That's right. Wow, this is so cool to be on with you.
I know, and this is just the beginning because we got some other stuff that we're going to do shortly. But
Absolutely.
So give us 3 or 4 things that as you move forward and making all of these big moves, you're making some massive moves. I'm loving that you're writing another book and you're looking at more production. What would you say to your younger self about where you are today and where you're going?
That is I don't really think in those terms. When people say, oh, if I was 15, knowing what I know now, I don't even go there because you can't do it. What I would tell someone else is to be honest about who you are. That level of authenticity will serve you well, because being consistent, you constantly are building upon. You don't have to keep starting over. You actually enhance and you grow, and with growth come change.
Yes.
So that is of one key thing. Find something that you love just organically. Don't audition for it. Don't do it because your parents say do it. What do you enjoy? Whatever that is, there are levels to that. There is a way to make money doing that. The third thing is be kind. Be kind to people. Be kind to people. / you must have gratitude. That is, yeah. You
That's
must
huge.
Yes,
Being grateful for everything, right?
Yes, because your life could be very different. It could be
On many levels.
On many levels.
On many levels. And, one of my little sayings is, when it ceases to be fun, it's time to go. I'm not going to get caught in some madness when I know that there's a bigger plan for me. And too often we get comfortable where we shouldn't be and take advantage of what's really before you.
Wow. Well, now I'm going to switch the script on you. So
Okay.
You've known me for all these years.
All these years. Yeah, lots of them.
What is it about me that has kept you so present in my life?
Because you're funny and you straight up no chaser. Because you are funny. You're really funny. You're really funny. But you are straight up no chaser. So you're not going to allow me to say some old foolishness. I'm not going to allow you to say some old foolishness. We're going to just be straight up no chaser. Here it is.
Yeah.
And if you can't deal with it, then call me back later when you can. And that has been the truth. It's just plain. There's never been any pretense about our friendship or about what we're doing or where we are. You don't have to ask me if this is something I should do. I don't have to ask you whether this is something that you should do or me should do, because we're going to say, why are you doing that? Or that doesn't make sense. You need to, and it's that kind of honesty, that kind of truth, because we've seen a lot.
That's true. So what has been your favorite event that you've attended of mine?
Oh, that was the one where we were with the ambassador in DC and I had blonde hair. I really enjoyed that. And it was intimate.
Hollywood Unites for Haiti.
Yes.
Yes.
And it was
with Governor Wilder,
fabulous.
Danny Glover.
Yes.
And Jimmy Jean-Louis.
Thank you.
At the new W Hotel.
With his fine self.
I love it.
I had blonde hair there. Remember that?
I do. And I put that event together in like 2 weeks.
I know. And you were like, we gonna do this regardless. And we showed up. Everybody showed up. People were standing out in the hallway. I mean, high level. The governor was standing out in the hallway. It was full out into the other rooms. And it was fabulous. I remember that.
That was the first time I recall getting international press from that event.
Yes. And those pictures are still up online.
Oh, of course.
They are still up online, child. I was like, I saw that, I guess, maybe about a year ago or something. And I was like, this is still up there. That they really put some kind of mark on that for it to stay in circulation.
Oh yeah, for sure. No, this is good.
Remember that. That was a great party.
Wonderful memories.
Yes.
I thought you were going to say the event for the National Education Association, when we had Nancy Wilson, Howard Hewitt, Dougie Doug, and Shirley Rao. That's what I thought you were going to say.
Yeah. But the one with the governor was real intimate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right. So it gave me the opportunity. I mean, there are pictures of me where I'm actually having conversations with these stars, Danny Glover. We're kicking it, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And so So while I love the big place, it is, you don't get the access. I didn't get the same kind of access that was like that. So
Well, now you've always had VIP access, so now don't act like you don't have VIP access.
I know.
I don't want to hear that.
I know. But that the space at the hotel was really, it was beautiful, but it was intimate. And so in from a square footage standpoint, and with the number of people that were there and the people who were there, I really enjoyed that because it was upfront and personal. So and it wasn't where people were coming in and then dashing out. You know,
they stayed through the entire.
They stayed. You know, so I call it a drop in. You know, people didn't do that. They came and the comfort was there. You know, high level people were in that room, but the comfort, the peace, and nobody felt that they needed to do anything other than what they were doing. And that, well, I'll always remember that.
Yeah, for sure.
And especially now that I have gray hair opposed to blonde.
Well, it probably was gray back then. You just weren't telling anybody your business.
Right. At all.
Right.
I'm still old.
Whatever.
So give me 3 things you want to do next. 3 things other than what we've discussed. I know that there's some long range plans that you got going, and you've got some little secrets wrapped up in one of them pockets.
So, you know, I typically don't venture too far out in the future because I realize that so many things happen organically for me that just continues to build. But there is something that won't surprise you at all, but I've never said it out loud. I definitely thought about becoming a U.S. ambassador to some country. I don't know where, but
I like that idea.
I think that suits me well.
I do too. You're so dignified.
Am I dignified? Oh my gosh! So I think I can do that very well.
Oh, I think so too. We should talk about that later because that's a plan.
Okay.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
I do
that
too.
fits you.
It really does. It really allows me to, you know, because I host very well. I entertain. I can cook. I'm well traveled. I will throw one old cocktail party every month to host whoever coming over here. You know. No, it's really good. I care about our people and our culture. So no, it would be great for me. I have thought about writing a book myself. Finally, my mother's been on my case about writing a book when I was 35 years old. I was like, no one is interested in my life, Mother.
Yes, they are.
But the reality is, by 35, I've probably lived a life of 10 men with all the experiences that I've had. But I just, I'm more laid back than most people even realize. They think because what I do defines who I am, and that's not the case. And you know that. We sit around and eat at a juke joint or go to the White House. Either one.
That's exactly right. Either way.
And I also tell
you,
be
comfortable
everywhere we go. And one of the things
and we're both from Indiana.
And we
so
are
that's Gary and South Bend.
That's right. That's right. Hoosiers, right?
Hoosiers.
But I will tell you this though. I want to say thank you on this platform because you've been very encouraging to me throughout the years. I mean, very encouraging, even from a style standpoint. I you know what? I don't know if you can remember this, but one day you were walking out of Georgia Brown's and I was holding the door for you. And I smelled you. I was like, well, what is that? And that was that Coco Mademoiselle. I bought my mama some the next day. I was like, you always were so classy and just giving people what they need in these streets. You always did that. But you were very complimentary to me as a young man about how I would present myself with my personal style. My heart. I mean, you were very intentional as well, So I really appreciate that.
But you were
You
worthy of
and
that.
Lynn Whitfield are the two women that, when it comes to style or whatever, you all were always checked in the box on me for that, you know? Yeah.
Yes. Oh, and she was lovely. I remember meeting her down in New Orleans, and I think you may have done something about coordinating that. And
Probably
there was
so.
something going on in New Orleans, yeah. And
I don't know if it was
she said there's
Essence
no
or
other
the
reason.
100 Black Men. It was one of them.
Yeah, so it was one of them, and you had me there with her. We had a very nice discussion, and she was just as calm and comfortable.
Yes.
There was no edge. There was no something that, you know, you had felt like you had to brace yourself or
She knows how to have a good time. She loves having a good time, you know?
Yes.
You know,
yes.
I'll tell you this story that I actually have in the book. She called me one day and I was getting my hair cut. I had hair back then.
Back then, yes, we understand.
I went to the barber
But I like
twice.
this look.
Huh?
I like this though. It's slick.
Do you like this?
Oh, I do. I like the look.
Well,
I
this is
love the look.
involuntary, but I'm gonna work it out.
I
I'm
love
work
it. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, so I'm getting my hair cut, and my barber says, "Hey, True, I'm gonna give you your phone. It's Lynn Whitfield." I said, "Okay, get the phone." I said, "Hello." She said, "Like, hello, darling. How are you?" I said, "I'm good." She said, "Well, where are you?" I said, "I'm at home." She said, well, "Good. I want you to come with me to the ESPY Awards." I was like, "Oh, okay. When?" She said, "Tonight." I was like, "Tonight?" Okay. You know, there's a car at the house for me. Flight's already done. Get out of the barber chair, literally shower, change, put on my tuxedo, get in the car, go to the airport, fly to New York. Car picks me up, take me to her home, to a pre-cocktail party where I met Sam Jackson and his wife, LaTanya. I met Star Jones and Jackie Harry, and it was just a really, really, really nice cocktail party before we went to the actual event.
Mm-hmm.
And I stopped her in the hallway and I said, "Lynn, what made you think I would be ready to come to something like this?" She grabs my face and she said, "Baby, you always ready."
I just said that underneath my breath. You always ready. You gotta stay ready. Stay ready.
It's real out
Stay
here.
ready.
Hey,
It
it's
is.
real.
Stay ready. And if you aren't of the mind of staying ready, you're gonna miss a lot.
You will miss a lot. You know,
A lot.
You know, I'll share this little tidbit that was talked a little bit about the chapter in the book. I was in South Africa vacationing, right? And I get a phone call and it said, "Are you still in South Africa?" I said, "I am." "Well, I have 2 tickets for you for tomorrow night to go to the State Center for Nelson Mandela in Cape Town. Do you want to go?" Absolutely. So I was in South Africa with Dougie Doug, the actor and comedian. So we went to the mall. I said, "I'm just gonna wear all black, you know, because I've never been to a State Center in Africa before, and because I'm not the tallest man in the world, you know, I had to be careful about what I had to alter my own pants. So my mom taught me how to hem my pants, so that came in handy. I hemmed my own pants. I did.
Right. Make it happen.
And we went there, and that was the 3rd time of me meeting Nelson Mandela at his State Dinner. Yeah.
I love it. I'm going to tell you my African story. And it's not, it is. So living in New York, reading the little Sunday New York Times and the little magazine that's in there, right? The cover of the magazine has something promoting Africa, right? And I had that art gallery at the time, Zaj, down in Harlem. So, you know, I'm reading it, blah, blah, blah. The next day I go to work and here come these Africans and they had the African wooden statues, right? Well, Zaj was more elegant and glass and crystal and things like that in art. And they said, you know, of course, and they said, we would like for you to sell these items here. And I said, why? I'm not selling the items here. You got little Africa's right up the street. That's 116th Street. Every building in there got the African thing. I don't want to do that. And so I said, well, you know, so he goes to this whole thing, right? And I said, I'm so not doing it. anyway, we became good friends and laughed. And I walked up there and I said, yeah, that's what I told you. There's a million of them up here. So they said, oh, okay, you're right. And so we became friends. Several months later, and we'd always get coffee because there was an African coffee place on Frederick Douglass.
Mm-hmm.
He says, I have a friend who you need to speak to. His name is Dr. Sheck Diarra, and he worked for the Hopkins Jet Propulsion Laboratories. And he was headed to a big giant conference in Brazzaville, Congo.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Now remember, I just saw this several weeks ago in the newspaper that said Africa. And I said, oh, I've never been to Africa. So we talked, and at that time I had a radio show on WHCR at City College.
Okay.
And they paid for me to go to Brazzaville, Congo to host my show at this conference.
Wow.
And aired it at City College, right?
Ooh, there you go.
And there's a picture somewhere in here of me meeting the president of the Congo.
Oh, wow.
Right? And
I
I'm
love it.
saying, I love it too. I'm saying it because life brings you so many unexpected things.
Absolutely.
Unexpected. In the middle of, you never know. All of a sudden, and suddenly, there it is.
For sure. For sure. When President Clinton had his inauguration, I was walking into the convention center and I was with Aretha Franklin and all these people walking in. I called my mom from the payphone. That's how long ago it was. I said, Mom, you'll never guess where I am. Told her. She said, well, get off the phone with me and go enjoy yourself.
Right now. Hang up.
Right now. But I think the biggest blessing for me is that I'm fortunate enough to still have my mom alive to have experienced so many amazing of my lived experiences. She's been able to see what she's invested in. Yeah. So that's everything. That's just
and it's
everything.
Huge. That's huge.
Yeah.
And I say that with pain in my heart because I don't have any living parents, and to have had her, and while you have her so long and she's so active in your life, it's absolutely wonderful.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That just says to me, I need to work on being a better mother too, so that my daughter will have some good memories too.
I'm sure your daughter got some great memories. I'm certain that she does. I'm certain.
Well, anything, if nothing else, they're good laughs. That's for real.
She will get that. But
will get that.
This is now this is real random.
Okay.
You also taught me about jewelry. You had on some earrings one day I was fascinated with. And I called them something, and you was like, that's not what these are. These are quadrillions. I was like, what? So you schooled me on that. You schooled me on what the difference between a sable and a sheared mink. I mean, you gave me a crash course. So when I bought my mom car, I knew I went in knowing about the pelts. I went in knowing what I need to know. So thanks to you being so grand and fabulous, I was able to, now bless my mom with 3 fur coats. So, it's a whole thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. But I just pay attention to the details. I mean, you were always just killing the people out the streets. I mean, you needed private security everywhere. You just need security.
But I'll tell you, now that COVID's over, I'm slowly getting back out there.
I know COVID was kicking your butt.
Woo! What? I was sequestered for the last couple of years. I'm coming. It's some little baby steps, but and to be still that long, that's me. You know me for years.
Yes. Okay. Because we have shut down a bar or two in our day.
Anywhere, at any time, and then get up and go someplace else and have them open it up. Don't get me started.
Absolutely.
That's a whole nother show. That's a different show.
That is a different show because we can run it.
That is a different show. And you know what I think is so wonderful, that all of the work that you've done and how you've built your business and flawlessly, and your commitment to community, your commitment to our race. You are representing so many of us because you've reached those levels. But you've reached those levels with consideration, with kindness, love, and patience.
Well, it's the support from people like you, Marsha. Remember the calendar that I did for kids?
Yeah.
The first one, this calendar was called When I Grow Up, I Want to Be.
I Want to Be.
Mm-hmm. And it featured men of color based on their careers.
Mm-hmm.
And, unfortunately, it was during the 9/11. The young lady who designed the calendar, she's safe, but I lost all my files. Everything was in the World Trade Center.
Wow.
So I was devastated because I spent my own lunch money to get this done. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, skip it, screw it. I just can't do it. And you were like, oh, no, you can do it again. And you're going to do it now. So we refocus. My mother said the same, and fortunately we were able to do it. It wasn't the ideal way, but it was the way it needed to be. And the key memory for me is to get it done.
Right. What's
People
the mission?
talk about what they're doing, but who's getting it done?
Mm-hmm. What's the mission? And you got to stay focused on the mission. You've got to stay focused on the mission. And we allow sometimes, and I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I need to say this because you are mission oriented.
I am.
I know you are mission oriented, and too often we find ourselves getting caught in the foolishness elsewhere that we're doing that has nothing to do with the mission.
Yeah.
What is the mission? And that is what I think we have in common as well, because it is about the mission.
It really is. I was fussing at my mom recently about, I'm just very sensitive. You know that. I'm just big old crybaby, and I own it. I'm all good with it.
Yeah.
But I asked her, like, well, what did you do to me, to make me so empathetic? Like, why do I, have so much passion? Because this passion is real.
Yes.
And I come forth, like, for real, just like an animal grabbing hold of something, and I'm not letting go. This is going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And I can say I haven't failed yet.
Nope. And you're not going to.
I have not.
You're not going, because it's ingrained in your spirit. It's ingrained in your mind and in all your DNA, baby. All your DNA.
Hey, if all else fails, I'll smile and bat my brown eyes and see what happened.
Right.
Hey,
right.
Hey, that's still work now.
Yes, I know. But, you gotta do what you gotta do to make it happen. You gotta do what you gotta do to get where you're trying to go.
Oh yeah, for sure. So
these have been quite a few little nuggets that we've had here, and I need some closing remarks from you, baby.
Okay. Well, I will say, whatever venture you're on, whether it's entrepreneurship, corporate, what have you, just be committed to growth in that area. Read, learn, study, expose yourself, work hard, play hard, and it's not over until it's over. You absolutely have to do that. And you will hit some bumps in the road, and that's all they are, bumps.
Right.
You have to believe in yourself, even when nobody else believes in you. I can't tell you the many times that I have, as they say, walked alone. And sometimes it takes that for you to gain the clarity that you need to get you where you need to be.
And to get rid of that background noise.
That's it.
So that you have
distractions.
clarity of mind. That's
all that. Nothing but distractions.
That's it.
Nothing but distractions.
But you're not a distraction, and you will always be with me, my fellow Pisces.
I will always be Your Teru.
Yes, with our little gray hairs, all that.
I know. I was gonna shave too. I'm like, I ain't shaving.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I just, well, you see mine. I got these big giant streaks of white.
I love it.
I
love it. You don't know what you're gonna get: short hair, long hair. You
I know.
will switch it up on you.
I will switch it up on you, but we won't go back to the short. That's too much.
Too much.
I like it long, so then I could just braid it or pull it back and keep it moving. It's easy.
You know, on the side note, I think you got me hooked on going to high-end hotel lounges and bars.
Of course, because that's where the best food and drinks are.
Look, because we hung out at the St. Regis when I was 25. We were in the St. Regis, okay?
Sitting front and center.
Yes.
But those are the experiences that you want to have. You know, I call them MIPs, memories in progress. And
absolutely.
That we can sit and have this conversation, and all of the things that you've done, every goal that you set, you've been working on and you accomplished. And it's having people surrounding you that you know you can trust, and they're going to be encouraging, but moreover, they're going to tell you the truth straight up, no chaser. In business and personally, you have to surround yourself with those people that you can trust and that you can believe, and they're not going to show you other than that.
That's right.
And
Facts.
that's fact. That's fact. And you have to release anything that, if it feels, you know, you always get this little funny, like squirrely kind of vibe going on in my tummy. When that comes up, I know it's time for me to go. When it ceases to be fun, it's time to go.
Agreed.
Yep. And so we're going to go off here, but we're going to catch up soon.
We will. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. I'm just always pleased to show up wherever you are. I will kindly show up.
That sounds like a song. Wherever you are, wherever you go.
You don't want me to sing now.
Okay, well, you know I can't. So love you.
I love you too.
Brooks, thank you so much.
Thank you,
see
dear.
Soon.
All right. Ciao.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right.
Hello and good evening. How are you? Okay, turn your mic on, sister.
See, I'm starting talking. Greetings, Dr. Lotus Richey. So just wanted to say, Marsha Reeves, your next guest is here. It has been a fantastic time to collaborate, come together, break barriers. We've shared so much information today. I'm excited to see who and what is next.
How many times have you been asked to help someone you didn't even know, a student, a business entrepreneur, or did you ever even ask, where did they end up? That business, that friend, that entrepreneur. Well, just maybe they ended up in a gang, bankrupt, homeless, or worse, dead. Maybe they turned to crime, drugs, and alcohol. Did you ever wonder? Did you destroy their dream, or was your life always so easy? At the Black Business Olympics, we started a movement to help students complete. Give them hope and foster success. Help them to leave their dreams of providing laptops, computers, and up to $5,000 in scholarship funds. Today, we ask you to help a student, a business owner, or an entrepreneur to realize their dream by sponsoring them, supporting them, and buying from them. Consider this. With $1.6 trillion in our Black community, we only ask for a small donation for our students, our businesses, can change a life today. So I ask you, what are you going to do? Sit on the sideline and watch our students in high school be losers, miss out on their dream from lack of resources? Or are you going to donate to the movement and change their future and yours as well? Give us a call today at 919-308-9090. Change their life by investing with action to the Black Business Olympic Fund. The Black Business Olympics, one of the largest business showcases of Black business in the history of the world.
Did you know that approximately 333.34 million businesses?
Great day, business owners, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders, and corporations. Welcome to the Black Business Network. I am Eliza Carter. I'm an emotional freedom advisor to highly successful women who struggle with stress and anxiety, and the CEO of the Breathing Experience Academy. Visit me at thebreathingexperience.com. I am your anchor for this evening on the Black Business Network. The Black Business Network is a 24-hour business network showcasing Black businesses, business owners, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders worldwide. We have speakers from North Carolina, London, Singapore, and Japan, and cities all over the United States. The Black Business Network is a global community sharing its business knowledge to inspire, empower, and educate businesses about business. We want to welcome to the screen Marsha Reeves Jews. Marsha Reeves Jews has more than 30 years of C-level work experience, specializing in corporate and military expositions, trade shows, and career fairs, marketing, public relations, communication, live streaming talk show host, executive level events and destination events, publishing magazines and souvenir journals, planning and management, conference, trade show design, production and management, magazines and newsletters, publishing business and relationship development, and destination weddings. Marsha Jews and Company, LLC, MJNC, is a well-honed marketing and communication machine. We welcome Marsha Reeves. We can share a little bit more about her company. Her company and diversity and inclusion and equity department provides an organization a solid package of well-seasoned professionals throughout a variety of industries, from the arts, STEM, political, corporate, educational institutions, and nonprofit organizations. Her live streaming programming and electronic newsletter division is committed to telling her clients stories in a precise manner, while assisting organizations to reach their social media goals and objectives. Once again, we welcome Ms. Marsha Reeves Jews.
Oh, well, hello, and thank you so much. And here we are with somebody I know I think I know who this is. Let me tell you a little bit about this
It's a
person.
possibility.
He's. It's about what?
Oh!
It's about what? It's about what? What? Hold on. You just hold on. I'm going to find the thing because this is really important. And, you know, I think what's really wonderful is that this man has just done some amazing work. Loren Cornish is not a trained artist. They call him a visionary, an outsider artist. His work comes out of his relationship with God. While he worships, he creates, and while he creates, he worships God. He was drawn to mosaics almost accidentally while repairing the termite damaged floor of a house he was renting. He was given some broken tiles. He glued them to the floor to cover the holes. One thing led to another, and soon the floor and walls were covered with materials. He covered the whole wall with pennies. When he started, he was gathering and collecting materials with a shopping cart. He took junk and trash off the streets and alleys and turned it into art. And now some of that junk and trash are hanging in very important museums across this nation. He still finds his materials just about anywhere, making art out of what the city has to offer. He pretty much uses whatever is in season, literally. The materials he uses have no meaning. He doesn't spend much time thinking about the reason behind the work. He gets an idea and he proceeds. He works with whatever he has on hand at that moment. He does not search for colors or materials. He uses what he finds and what finds him. He feels this keeps the process of making art as simple as possible, leaving him more time to create. When he first started doing art, everything had a religious meaning behind it. He's since then expanded, allowing his creative process to take him wherever it wants to go. No holds barred. When something is in your heart, you can't contain it. Education, self-taught artist. Loren Cornish, I introduce to you my friend. And he just disappeared. He didn't hear any of that.
He's coming back.
He's coming back.
Yes.
He's coming back. Well, the work that he does, these mosaics are absolutely beautiful. You should see his work, Eliza. He's done total buildings with his artwork covering the whole facade of the buildings, 3-4-story row houses in West Baltimore. And he goes from there to all kinds of things, girl. He has, it is amazing the work that he does. He can do, and he just does it also on boards. He can do walls, he can do counters, but his passion is also working in broken glass, which is really beautiful.
Yes. I've seen some of the broken glass artwork, but what it sounds like Corning does is that he's a free spirit.
Yes.
Whatever comes to him, and he just puts it together and makes it his own unique, authentic shape. You know what I mean? And so that right there, is some serious freedom.
In one of the buildings that he has, the whole bathroom is full of telephones. Those wall telephones from back in the day.
Wow.
Literally the whole thing. And so it's about whatever is going through his spirit at the time.
Okay.
And what is necessary in order for him to reach those accomplishments. There was a police station. Are you here in Baltimore or are you down in DC?
And, I'm between Delaware and Philadelphia.
Okay. So the Penn Station, train station here in Baltimore, the police department created a little police box, for lack of something else to call it, at the end of the bridge. And it's just a little hut for the police to probably run in and, have a drink of water or something. And then they decided they didn't want to be there anymore. And it was no longer important to them. And he totally covered that whole thing in glass that whole box at the end of the bridge on Charles Street. And it says that it's the police hut or something, whatever it was called. But he does that type of work. And but he does work that is in the Smithsonian. His work is in the Visionary Art Museum. You see all that glass on the outside of the building. He's in the Getty Museum. He's in the Banneker Douglas Museum.
Wow.
And so, and you look at this work that he has taken it by just something that was ordained by God, literally. Literally. There's no training, but out of that, it's coming out of his spirit. And it's absolutely beautiful.
But the freedom doesn't need any training. It just needs to get it done, right? Just do it. As Mikey says, just do it.
And it comes out of you. You know, it comes out of him. You can see it when he works. You know, sometimes I'm standing off because he has this whole area where there's glass all over everywhere outside, and he's got it's just like a lot. But at the end of it, you have these incredible pieces that when he breaks the glass and the colors shatter under the glass, and you have these streaks in the designs that come, it's just amazing what he does. Absolutely amazing.
That brings us so to mind. Come on and do it. Do it till you're satisfied, whatever it is.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, come on and do it. Do it. Whatever it is, oh, do it. Do it. I know exactly what I used to dance. Oh, then the little high voice. But that's real.
Yeah, it really is. When you're in the flow, you stay in the flow. When you got the gift, you use the gift.
Yes.
Absolutely. To the highest level.
That's exactly what it is. It is a gift. And too often we don't really pay attention to what the gifts that God gives us. Right?
Yeah.
That we can come out with the words that really speak to your spirit. And when that song came out, girl, there's a place down in Washington, D.C., and it used to be called Zanzibar.
Okay. We had one in Philly.
Okay. And girl, that place was tight on a regular, right?
Yes.
And that song came out, and people, you know, they were kind of laid back. It was always like, you know, after happy hour, and they were kind of laid back. Then all of a sudden the DJ would throw that out there, and they just woke up. You know, do it till you're satisfied. Come on and do it. You don't want me to sing, but I'm gonna tell you something. You don't want that. But that was really a song that people resonated with because it speaks to who you are and what you should be doing, not with somebody else till you're satisfied, is what the song says.
Yes.
Right? These are little nuggets that life should be about. That while that song speaks to truth to power, it is still true. Come on and do it.
Yes.
Do it, whatever it is.
Yes.
Until you're satisfied. And finding your mission or your purpose. And you got to keep doing it. You got to keep doing it. You got to keep working towards it. You got to move all that debris, because there's usually something that's trying to take you off target that has nothing to do with the mission that you're supposed to be on.
I totally agree. Totally agree.
Right?
Because when you're doing it until you're satisfied, your satisfaction continues to grow.
No question.
And it's rewarding and satisfying and fulfilling. You know what I mean? And I think that's a lot of components that are missing in people's lives today. They're not doing the things that fulfill them. And when you find somebody that does, you can feel the good energy, the love. You know what I mean? You can have that harmony with them because you're doing I know I'm doing what makes me feel satisfied, because I can think of the times that I didn't do because I was the rat race of, trying to do this, that, and the other. But now
The madness.
The freedom, that next level of
Mhm.
thinking and feeling and absorbing life as a whole, of being
Right.
satisfied with knowing what you do well and knowing what you do great, but moving to that greatness inside of you, as Dr. Kelly always says. Thank you for your greatness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that song goes up like 20 octaves, because it says,
Right.
"Come on and do it, girl." Right?
Yes, I remember that, but I hadn't thought about that, so I have to go listen to it tonight. I'm going to make sure.
Yeah, because that octave goes way up there.
Yeah.
And it's like it's pulling you along to do it.
Yes.
You know, it's an action kind of thing.
It's okay to do it. It's okay to keep going.
Yes.
It's okay to keep growing.
Yes.
It's okay to have mistakes and keep moving. You know, it's okay.
Yes, it is okay. It is okay. And because it's okay, it means that you're okay to change, to be part of what this is telling you to do, to be the best you can be. Right?
Yes.
And if we don't, too often we kind of dismiss words, but I think when we listen to words, and we don't get them as much as we did back then, because it was a different era of music, but there are words, it's poetry. Those words help me. I remember all of the songs from Marvin Gaye and how his songs changed how people saw their communities, how we saw ourselves. And I think too often we get away from what the Lord is really, and the spirits are saying to us, that, you can be, you can do, you should just try it, just listen and move towards your purpose, towards the higher calling. Right?
Absolutely. The higher calling is what it really is all about. Because elevation only comes when you make a decision to take the next step.
Yes.
I mean, we all get stuck sometimes, but as soon as you can get out of that stuck place, keep moving. Because the stuck place should only be temporary. It should never be long term.
That's exactly right. That is my life's motto. Keep it moving.
Okay.
Keep it moving. We keep it moving. WKIM. We keep it moving.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
We keep it moving. And I keep it moving. Keep it moving. WKIM and KIM. We keep it moving because we want to be the best that we can be. We want to expect and have experience of the best experiences that we can have. We want to move forward and learn things that we never knew. We want to be able to be exposed to things we've never seen. And if we don't keep it moving, if we don't give of ourselves to move forward, to just keep moving and not get caught in all the foolishness, not get caught in all the obstacles, unnecessary obstacles, obstacles that people are throwing in your place because they don't want to see you overcome those obstacles, obstacles that will be in your face, changing your life, changing your job, changing your family, because they don't want you to have that peace. They don't want you to reach that ultimate goal. Those dreams do come true. Dreams do come true if you believe and you stay the course.
Yes.
And you stay the course. And so some of us come out of horrible, horrible situations or horrible experiences. I've done it. I've been there. And so do you stay there and trip off of it for all of your life? Or are you going to say, okay, you did it now. You ain't doing this no more. I'm going to keep it moving. I'm going to keep it moving onward and forward.
Yes.
And we have to get that personal intestinal fortitude to keep moving, to discard the pain, to discard the ugliness.
Yes.
And just stay focused on the future.
Because the pain is real, but
No
it
question.
has to be pushed out of the way, or you have to find a way to deal with it, cope with it, let it go, release it, whatever it takes to make sure that you keep it moving is really the recipe for our lives. It's really the recipe for our lives.
And it's huge.
Yes,
it's huge. We can't allow that negativity to change the course of our lives. And I call it biting into somebody else's madness, biting into that madness. That's not for you. And sometimes we take it on because we get caught in that. We get caught in that messiness versus letting it go and letting that let you go. So we're not attached. You know, sometimes you see it as an attachment. You know how a little mosquito jumps on you and they don't go away? They don't just leave. You got to push them off. They stick to your clothes and get into your leg. They're trying to stick their little beak or wherever it is into your hand to give you a mosquito bite. I don't want a mosquito bite. Get off me.
Exactly.
Get off me. And that's what we should be doing and what we should have our children doing. Get off of me. All that foolishness. Get off of me. And we need to move forward. I'm moving forward without you. And life allows you to do that because you can make different decisions as you wish, right?
Because every day we have choices. We just have to know we have these choices. And you make the choices because they are available. And that's why, self-development is key. To be able to expand thinking, how you're feeling, knowing what your plan is. And listen, there's always going to be something to try and take you off the plan.
No question.
You gotta have the goal, the end goal in mind, and keep reaching until you reach it, and then set some new stands in place and keep moving forward. Absolutely.
Period.
Yep.
And if you're not bringing me something positive, then I don't even need to be around you, for real.
That's the truth.
For real.
Yes.
So I see Lauren Cornish is in the studio. Is that right or no?
He's in the green room. Yes, he's back.
He's in the green. Oh, he's back. I read your bio already. How you doing, sir?
What's up, Marsha Reeves Jews? How are you?
I'm great. How you doing?
The road to get to where you need to go is sometimes paved with impossible things to jump. But you know what? We jump those roads and we jump high. And we land on the other side in gold and exhilaration, and we conquer the thing that we thought we couldn't jump over. And when we jump over that thing, there's something greater even to behold, But we had to get over the first hurdle to get to the greater thing. But when that greater thing comes, there's always something else that will try to knock you down. But if you get up from that place, there's even a greater thing to get. So that's how I'm doing, Marsha. Can you hear me?
Oh, yes. And so can everybody else down the street.
Damn right they can. Let your voices be heard. Let your yay be yay. What is that thing you say, Marsha? Let what you know what that the army thing, what they say, you tell me all the time.
I don't know.
Yeah, you do. Let your no be yo, then tell them again, tell them once.
Tell them what you're gonna tell them what you told them, tell them again.
Say it again, Marsha.
Tell them what you're gonna tell them.
Tell them what you're going to tell them, and then say it again and make sure they heard it.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
I bet you won't ask me how I'm doing anymore.
I am positive that I will. Because you're not out of my life yet, buddy.
Oh no, you certainly aren't. Oh no. We're in this thing for the long haul.
The long haul, boy. I swear, this is my brother from another mother, and I'm telling you, He is a hoot, but a brilliant artist. Let's talk about all of the beautiful things that you've created and how you really didn't have a plan. It just occurred.
Well, listen, the art just kind of happened. You know, I was an actor in California. I was working on a movie one day, and this is the honest God's truth to anybody that may be listening. I was working on a movie called Time Machine, and I was there in costume, and I was like, you know what, God, I could be worshiping you full time right now. I said, that's what I want to do with the rest of my life. I want to worship you full time without any interruptions. Meaning I didn't want to have to be on a movie set. I didn't want to have to be working for another company. And I didn't know what that entailed, but I knew what I wanted. And then, Marsha, the next 5 minutes, another thought came to me and said, and I want to trust you for more than a paycheck. And so those two thoughts came to me, and I said, well, God, if I truly believe in you, then why don't we make this happen? So the next morning I woke up and I didn't go back to finish the movie. I stayed at home. I put on my gospel music and I began worshiping God in my home, right? And out of my worship, I began fixing up this rented house with mosaic tile work. A friend of mine had taught me how to do mosaic art from his sick bed. Oh, now that's another story. A friend of mine was dying of AIDS, Marsha. I went to see him one day and he was in the bed curled up. I looked all through his house. I couldn't find him. I went to his bedroom. I saw this lump under the cover. I was like, what is that? I pulled back the cover, Marsha, and I screamed. It was him. He was dying. His bones and flesh. He had given up on life. And he was laying there dying, Marsha. And this thing came over me. Something came over me and I said, oh, no, God, not this one. Not this one. And this was before the medicines had been introduced to society. This is before everything. He had no hope, no help. Seemed like no friends was around. I stayed with that guy. I did not leave his side. I said, you know what? I'm staying here. I don't know where I was going. I don't know. But I stayed in his house. And the only thing he would eat was applesauce. I'll never forget this. I don't know why I'm interrupting, going back to this story, and it may be a long way route to what I want to say. But anyway, to make a long story short, we got Paul in this experimental medical program at UCLA, and Paul was the #1 candidate out of every participant that ever came to the thing. He whatever medicines there were worked so well with his body until the doctors thought he was the poster child. I'll never forget praying to Jesus, praying, God, please don't let this guy die. Please don't let this guy die. And he shouted from his bedroom one day, said, you ain't praying to that damn Jesus, are you? He had a horrible relationship. But anyway, to make a long story short, he said, since you're not leaving, I'm going to teach you how to do mosaic art. Paul was the greatest artist that I ever met in my life. He could take anything, Marsha, and make art out of it. Wow. And that's why I didn't want him to die, because I didn't want his gift to die. Did you see that?
Beautiful. That's beautiful.
Isn't that something? He taught me how to do mosaic art from his sick bed. So he got better. He got back on his feet. I got a place to live. I quit being an actor. And when I went back to worship God, Paul had given me boxes and boxes of mosaic tile. He just gave them to me. They were from Mexico. And while I was home worshiping God, I began mosaicing the rented house that I was living in. And that's how I became an artist. 6 months later, Marsha, that entire house was a museum, and it was recognized by the Getty Museum in California. People were coming into, I'd gotten rid of everything, the bed, the sofa, the TV, the kitchen set, anything that didn't have to do with art, I threw it out. I slept on the floor in a mat. I turned my living environment into my world of worship, and my world of worship became a museum for people to come in. Oh, Marsha, it was incredible. It was amazing. God would wake me up at 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning and tell me to go down the street, go around the corner, and there would be a box of nails. I mean, this happened every night around 3 o'clock. The things that I needed, God would, I'm telling you, Marsha, God would provide them for me. I would worship God during the day, and he would wake me up at night and tell me to go here, go there, go here, and things would just appear. My God, glory. they would just appear. And the next thing you know, I'm this artist. Now, were there rough times? Of course there were. Was I eating out of dumpsters? Of course I was. You know, and I would go to the grocery stores, right? Living in California, I would go to grocery stores and I would look through the, you know how the grocery stores, they throw out food that they don't want. Well, you may not know anything about that life, considering right. You two hardy-tardy ladies, you've probably never eaten out of a dumpster. You don't know anything about coffee grinds on bananas and donuts. I never could understand why everything in the dumpster had coffee grinds on it. I couldn't understand it. I was like, God, I don't mind eating out of the dumpster, but why do I have to deal with coffee grinds? So one week it would be all apples because they would throw out a ton of apples. The next week it would be all donuts. And I was like, oh.
Wow, that's a life of faith. You know what I mean? Wow, and only some people are built that way to handle that kind of stuff and continue to keep it moving, as we said. Keep it moving, keep it moving, keep it moving.
Yes.
Wow, Mr. Cornish, that is powerful.
Yes, Lauren
I'd like
is
you to imagine with me, if you will, opening an app where you can collaborate with like-minded individuals from around the world, get inspiration and in-app tools to launch and grow your business, as well as share your knowledge and earn compensation, all in one app. Well, the name of that app is Truso, short for Truly Social. Hi, I'm Matthew Newman, the founder and CEO of Truso. A new concept in social media, Truso is designed from the ground up to be a platform that's both social and empowering for all its users. How exactly do we do that? I'm glad you asked. First, Truso brings the world together via video. Psychologists assert that video provides a significantly more effective connection than audio only. When you enter a community on Truso, you're face to face. Second, on Truso, you don't have to have 1 million followers to monetize. Our business model allows all hosts and moderators to monetize, no matter the size of your following, by 1, producing fee-based content, and 2, inviting others to join the platform as subscribers. Even more, Truso has an in-app resource library with over 100 free resources, forms, and documents to help you build your brand and grow your business. Third, Truso is inclusive. The deaf and hard of hearing communities make up 360 million people worldwide. Unlike audio-only apps, Truso embraces this community, providing a networking platform that allows them to participate via video and closed captioning. We even have a deaf and hard of hearing foundation in the works as well. Fourth, Truso is both social and safe. We refer to Truso as a virtual extension of the beauty shop, barbershop, and brainchild of the community. A place where there's laughter, along with wisdom, growth-oriented conversation, and genuine connections in a safe space. Truso even has proprietary security to ensure we maintain a safe environment for everyone. Where are we at now? Truso is live, y'all. We've launched in beta and we're acquiring users daily. We have an incredible development and marketing team, plus amazing celebrity influencers at the table, helping us spread the word around the globe, beginning within the African diaspora and beyond by creating a safe space for growth, connection, and collaboration. We're truly excited about Truso. We've created something special for which there is a global market. And we invite you to embark on this journey with us as a shareholder. The future for Truso is truly bright. Join us and let's go there together.
Did you know women represent just 3% of Fortune 500 CEOs and less than 15% of corporate executives?
Hello?
Did you know women represent just 3% of Fortune 500 CEOs and less than 15% of corporate executives at top companies worldwide? Have you wondered what the secrets are to getting into the top ranks, whether in the private or public sector?
It's time for you to start bossing in social media. For all your social media needs, you've come to the right place at the right time to get your website designed, landing page, social media platforms, and get the training you need to get in front of the people that's ready to buy your products and services. Let me train you with StreamYard, Zoom, Clubhouse, and much more. And let me help you get your virtual professionals, not assistants, because assistants can only assist you, but the virtual professionals can give you that professional flavor that you need to expand your reach and increase your revenue. Jump on in and get in where you fit in and start boxing today.
Prepare for what's coming and Prepare for what's coming and dominate in economic winter. Stand strong and thrive by showcasing your great products and services globally through the Black Business Network and Black Business Olympics. The Black Business Network has showcased over 2,000 companies with over $7 billion in sales each year. Over 10 million attendees have viewed the rebroadcast each month. Through the Black Business Olympics, unique styles of business training and mentoring are turning students into business owners and entrepreneurial warriors who will dominate in any economy. Gain the ultimate advantage of the Black Business Olympics, 7 days of unbelievable topics and speakers speaking around the globe. Donate your time and experience to provide expertise and scholarships to students worldwide and change the world. Now, more than ever, new insights, tools, strategies, and capabilities are needed. This is your chance for a major presentation to the world. Fill out the form and join the more than 2,000 speakers who have presented to over 200 countries. Join the Black Business Network streaming live into the Metaverse, STEM City, Black Multiverse Enterprises, Hulu, Amazon, YouTube, iHeartRadio, Apple, Facebook, LinkedIn, Pod TV, IBM TV, Spotify, and Google Podcasts. Sign up today. Spaces are limited, and we will see you there. How many times have you been asked to help someone you didn't even know, a student, a business entrepreneur, or did you ever even ask, where did they end up? That business, that friend, that entrepreneur. Well, just maybe they ended up in a gang, bankrupt, homeless, or worse, dead. Maybe they turned to crime, drugs, and alcohol. Did you ever wonder? Did you destroy their dream, or was your life always so easy? At the Black Business Olympics, we started a movement to help students complete. Give them hope and foster success. Help them to leave their dreams of providing laptops, computers, and up to $5,000 in scholarship funds. Today, we ask you to help a student, a business owner, or an entrepreneur to realize their dreams by sponsoring them, supporting them, and buying from them. Consider this. With $1.6 trillion in our Black community, we only ask for a small donation for our students, our businesses, and our entrepreneurs. And you can change a life today. So I ask you, what are you going to do? Sit on the sideline and watch our students in high school be leaders, miss out on their dream from lack of resources? Or are you going to donate to the movement and change their future and yours as well? Give us a call today at 919-308-9090. Change their life by investing with action to the Black Business Olympic Fund. The Black Business Olympics, one of the largest business showcases of Black business in the history of the world.
Great day, business owners, entrepreneurs, thought leaders, and corporations. Welcome to the Black Business Network. I am Eliza Carter. I am an emotional freedom advisor to highly successful women who ignore their stress and pressure.